What's going on, everybody? Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by G Fuel Energy. Right now, if you use code DannyD, it will save you 30% off at checkout at gfuel.com. They just released XQC's new flavor, the Juice, and they also just restocked my favorite flavor, Wampa Fruit. Today's guest is a TikToker and content creator. You may have seen his GeoGuessr videos on TikTok, and he's a really chill dude. He actually had me on for a Jeopardy game with some other content creators from TikTok. I really enjoyed our conversation, and I hope you do too. Please welcome Sambucha. All right, we're recording.
All right, sounds good.
So where did this Sambucha name come from? Is it like kombucha? That basically
So you know the Sambuca Italian liquor? Have you heard of that?
Oh, okay. Okay, that's what it is. I thought maybe I was pronouncing it wrong. I wasn't sure.
No, you're pronouncing it right.
So it is Sambucha?
So it's like,
okay.
It's a good combination between kombucha and then Sambuca, but I didn't even know kombucha was really a drink until I found out. So it was mainly going to be like a spinoff of the Sambuca liquor. And also I just wanted like a single name to sort of go by because I didn't want to put like my full name into my Twitch handle.
Yeah, definitely
as I'm
want to
sure
do that.
like Dorito's not your last name, right? So I
What are
wanted
you
to just
talking
make sure I had
No,
something.
it is. My last name's Dorito.
Oh, dude, my bad. For some reason I was just thinking that Dorito wasn't your last name. But yeah, so I just made it Sambuca. What was Sambuca at first, but that was taken. And then I was like, let's just do Sambucha because I thought Booch could be like a funny name, like a derivative type name.
Yeah.
Then I found out kombucha was a thing because I had never had it, and the name just sort of like stuck, and I just like went with it. I really don't think about my name too much. I feel like most people just call me Sam anyway.
Yeah. No, I like it. It's catchy. Like it's easy to remember. Because there's some people out here who have like the spelling's easy too. Because like there's people, they call themselves a certain name, but then they have like these X's and lines and stuff like that, and it's like,
Yeah, I feel like you got to keep it simple for like branding purposes. You don't want to get like I at first it was Sambucha TTV, and then somebody specifically told me they're like, rip that TTV off, man.
Yeah.
Later you're gonna hate that you have it attached to you.
Yep.
So then like I think I even made my first Twitch account might have been Sambucha TTV, and then like I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll trust this guy because at that point he was like, it was the person who actually got me into streaming, and he's like, do not do it. So I said, fine, I won't do it, and then I haven't looked back. But if I still had TTV attached to my name, I think that I'd be a little upset because looking out how things play out now, it's much better not to have it, I'd say.
Yeah, I would love to not have the 23 in it, but it actually keeps me from it saves me from the whole copyright or trademark issue. So
What, with Doritos?
yeah,
Like,
if I didn't have 23 in my name, then it would be a trademark issue.
have you ever had issues before? Have they?
No, it's trademarked now, so they can't like.
Wow.
They had to like okay it, so.
So the 23 really? So if you put a number at the end, it saves you from. So I could be
So
like Starbucks International 1 or 2, and like I'm completely absolved of.
so I don't know if you could be Starbucks, but you could be like Sam Starbucks. You know what I mean? Like you could put like a different name on it or whatever. But if it
Right.
so like if I just had Danny Dorito, it would be kind of a weird spot. Like if I was using the chips or the logo or something like that for anything, they could definitely come after me. Which when I first started, I actually had like Dorito head mode where I'd put a bag on my head with like holes cut out. I think that's part of the reason why people kind of stuck around at the beginning. But as soon as like I talked to a lawyer, they're like, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. Like I stopped doing it. I always joke around, maybe someday if I get like a sponsorship from Doritos, I'll bring it back. But at the same time, like, I don't know, I've distanced myself from that. Like, I would hate it. It was not comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, it was definitely got sweaty in there. Like, it was all loud.
Was it a channel point redemption, or was it just do full on streams like that?
So somebody would redeem it, and then I basically had to wear it for like an hour.
An hour?
Like, yeah, at the beginning. You got to do something ridiculous at the beginning, you know?
Yeah.
You
know what that reminds me of?
What?
As soon as you said like you had like a costume on and people started to come, like Jordy with the Sonic suit.
Yeah, so I've been talking back and forth with Jordy, and he might be on, and I totally wanted to talk to him about that because there's definitely people who have like, there's a lot of people who do the whole costume thing because of him for sure. Like there's a lot of people who have started doing costumes. So oh no, somebody even did a full on Sonic costume, and I was like, whoa, dude, like that's straight copy of Jordy. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's no original content on the internet either way.
Yeah, but I mean, there's also like, you can always do something different, you know. So like, I mean, people wearing costumes, like it's not a big deal, but I mean, like, definitely you see the inspiration there. Um,
Right.
like I mean, I see TikToks where like it like sometimes I'm like, I think it's a stitch of mine or something like that, but no, it's like somebody made a video that looks like really similar to mine. Um,
Dude, I don't want to, and I don't want to like say names. I swear to God, I thought for the longest time this account was like yours or like an alt or something. It was same exact format because I'm sure it's your original. I mean, you're the guy, right, who does like your format, kind of like with your fiance, right, walking in and then asking questions and all that stuff. And I see so many people doing that now. Some like much smaller accounts and stuff. And I'm like, I wonder if he knows about this. There's a lot. And look, I get that there's taking inspiration from somebody who's doing well with it, so they want to take it and adapt it into their own content. But dude, like at first there was somebody same exact stuff, and then like I started seeing multiple people just do your same thing. So you've inspired tons of people to just take on this new format of how to film TikToks.
yeah, don't get me wrong, it's definitely like I look at it as kind of a cheesy thing. Like it's definitely like an easy way to like hook people, you know, including some, you know, a significant other or kids, a dog, stuff like that, you know. And there was an account that everybody used to say I copied, but like I went and checked them out, and I was like, dude, like it's all sex jokes. Like it's like super crude and all that stuff. I was like, yeah, that's not us, you know. Like I'm not
Yeah.
just yeah, that's definitely not what I'm trying to do. So, um, there was actually I had some drama back, but like 3 or 4 months ago, and like it got crazy, man. Like this guy like reported me for view botting and like all kinds of stuff, man. And it was just a mess. It was really weird and creepy, stalkerish. Um, but yeah, it's definitely like I feel like now that I've gotten to the size I am, people definitely are like giving me more credit, you know, instead of just saying I'm copying people or something. So,
Right.
but I mean, it's just so stupid, man. I think the whole copying thing is dumb. Like TikTok is literally just, I mean, you can never. It's really hard to trace back like who started something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think what matters more is that like you do it better or put a different spin on it, you know.
Yeah. So you
So
had certified beef. So you
it
had a
was real,
couple.
man. It was
Wow.
real.
I can't
This guy
imagine
was
getting into.
trying.
I feel like you're so well respected in your world on TikTok because you have very nichey content. I'd say like you have
Mhm.
like a very broad reach, but at the same time, like what you do, I don't see so many people doing it. It's like you're within this like gaming world on TikTok, but you're also like
All over the place,
pretty
yeah.
mainstream and like yeah, capable of that breakthrough into like that world that is just like TikTok generally. So I feel like you're pretty respected. I mean, like the numbers show as well. You have like an insane fandom, not only there but across all your socials. It's like
Yeah.
it's honestly ridiculous. But like,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's so unimaginable that somebody could just straight up beef with you
I've
over.
tried a lot of stuff, and there's definitely a TikTok back in the day. Like I don't know if you've seen. There's a guy who he's always wearing a beanie. I think he's shirtless, and he like always like kind of critiques TikToks. It's like, dude,
Yeah,
everybody
yeah,
knows
yeah.
that this and that. You know, I
Should I say names or
I can't remember his name, but like everybody's seen him.
Joe
Yeah,
Bartolozzi?
like I
Because
feel
he
like
streams as well.
it's super smart the way he does it. Like I'll get like halfway through the video and not even know it's his until he pops up. You know,
Mhm.
it starts to like dog on it. But I did a TikTok like that. But it was like towards a streamer. Like it was like a joke that they made, like a skit. I was like, come on, everybody knows that like your mic is right there, like, and it sounds like crap, you know, like that's a nice mic, this and that, you know. And it
Mhm.
was the person's birthday when I posted it. I didn't know, and so like all these people came after me, big people, and like I thought I for a second I was like, you know, everybody was telling me like, dude, it's fine, it's just a bad timing, this and that, it'll blow over. And then I wake up and like Twitter, people on Twitter are like pissed off at me, and I was like, oh man.
Oh no, he's got
Uh,
Twitter on you.
yeah, and I like wasn't even really on Twitter at the time. Like I had just kind of like started to like look at Twitter again, you know, like I had downloaded it back in like high school, but never really did anything with it. Um, so I was like, man, like this sucks. Like I was like, am I canceled? You know, because like people were saying that they're like, cancel Dorito and stuff. Like there's still people. It doesn't happen as much anymore, but like, when the beef happened with this other guy, people were like, I thought this guy got canceled. You know, like
Mhm.
I did it. Like it
Now
was
I'm
just a
still here.
misunderstanding, you know. But no, there's definitely some people who like are still salty about that, which I think is crazy, man. Because it's like you gotta try stuff. I feel like to like like I always said, you gotta give me credit for at least trying something different. Like just because it was bad timing or taken the wrong way doesn't mean like it's just a misunderstanding. But that was a long time ago. I think I had like 100,000 on TikTok when that happened.
Well,
So
I mean, like, though you say like you had like 100,000, I feel like you've been booming the past couple of months. So I don't even know how long ago that would have been because I remember you celebrated hitting a million like recently. I feel
I
like last time I spoke to you, you may have been like just over that million hurdle, and that was like a month ago.
yeah, yeah,
So
it's
this month
definitely
must have been wild for you, the past 30, 45 days.
1 million to 2 million was definitely like a lot
You
faster
speed
than
ran that.
yeah. But what I think is what I've really been trying to avoid though is like I see a lot of people who like have a huge spike on Twitch, or YouTube and stuff like that, because of that, and then it also comes down just as fast, because it goes up so
Mm,
fast. And I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job at like making sure that um my TikTok isn't like the only thing that people care about. So
right.
it's been pretty consistent on the other platforms growth wise. So I think as long as I just keep staying consistent, I mean I post 5 TikToks a day. So I was posting
Right. No,
like
no.
10 and 10
5.
plus when I first started to get to that 100K, man. And then once I got to 100K, I was like, I gotta stop. I'm gonna burn out. But
5
TikTok,
TikToks a day is a lot.
yeah, TikTok was like the only thing I was really putting effort into back then. So like 10 a day was like literally all I did, like, and then I would like stream for a couple hours. But now I've got like I just hired an editor for YouTube, so that helps. Because I'm posting two videos on YouTube a day, Monday through Friday, and then one on Saturday, one on Sunday. So like I'm just doing my best to like just keep pumping out content consistently.
How do you stay
So
creative with that much? That's a lot of pieces of content on a lot of platforms regularly. So like, what is it?
well,
And it's all
I
different too.
I got out of yeah, I know. Like some people say that like the YouTube things it's harder to grow for me because like I don't stick to like one thing. Like my stuff's all over the place. I do the G Fuel reviews, I do the podcast, I do stream highlights, podcast highlights, mail openings. Um I did a few like tip videos back in the day, but like watching Harris Heller and seeing people talk about how if you just do tip videos and stuff, then people will only want to come to your Twitch for like tips, you know?
Mm,
And like I noticed, like I posted a like how to make affiliate video, and then like everybody like I saw like a swarm of people just coming and asking questions about like, they'd be like, how do I do this? How do I do that? All right, bye. Like they're not gonna
mm.
stick around and watch the gameplay. So um the staying creative thing, I think I got out of the military to do the film and TV industry. Like I was gonna go try to work my way up to like the creative side of stuff. Like I like ideas is not a hard thing for me to come up with, and like I did want to like I guess I still do want to like do like directing at some point. Like I feel like I'm really good at like I have an idea and I can see the vision, and I'm good at like translating that onto camera. Um TikTok, I have a hard time finding the balance of like an idea that's not so complex that it takes me an hour to do it. Because I used to do I want to go back to them. I used to do like the Twitch chat and real life skits and stuff. Those are probably like the longest thing that it took me to do because it's
That's
just
how I
me playing
found you.
all these characters. I know I need to do them again because there's people who are like, dude, bring them back. Like that's how I discovered you, and I'm like, man, like those are. It's hard to come up with like conversations, that are like memey, but
Right.
like
Yeah.
not using the same joke every time. But I feel like it's been long enough, and I have so many new viewers that like if I kind of like rebooted it, that maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea. So we'll see. And then
That was a good series. I really did enjoy that. That's so back in December, you would like always pop up my For You page, and I'm really bad of I don't like videos, I don't follow people, I just have such a short attention span on TikTok. I don't even like remember to do that. But TikTok's
yeah,
good at remembering the people you watch, so they would always pop you up. And then that series specifically, that was the first video I saw of you. I was like, this guy's kind of funny. Like, all right, cool. So the watch time was full. I watched the whole thing, but then like I just passed it thinking nothing of it. And then like I saw another one and I was like, all right, this guy's good. Should I follow? And I was like, nah, I'm not gonna follow yet because like whatever. I'm very like picky with that stuff for some reason. I
Yeah.
forget to do it. And then, like, it just kept popping up, and, like, for some reason, by the way, like, I never did follow, which, like, I saw that you had followed me, and I was like, "Oh, shit, Danny DeVito follows me, like, let me follow him back because I was like, "I know this guy." When I first saw your stuff, I was like, "Oh, this guy's cool." Then I saw you followed me, I'm like, "Wow." Like, in my head, I was like, "Wow, a celebrity follows me." I
A
was like, "Danny
celebrity.
DeVito follows me." I was, like, telling my friend, I was like, "Yo, this guy Danny DeVito follows me, this is so cool." And so, like, I followed back and I was like, "Damn," like, I was like, "There we go." That's like, for me, that was, like, a big moment for me on TikTok. I saw that you had followed me because it's weird. It's like you see somebody on the come up and you watch their content, and then to realize that they saw your stuff, I'm like, "Wow." Like, and that was the first time I'm like, "Alright, let's do this." It really was. That's why, I wanted to do something with you, like, immediately because you were, like, one of the first people I watched on TikTok. And it was, like, very cool to see that you had followed me. I was like, "Oh, let's go."
That's
And
cool, man.
what's cool about TikTok is, like, I think it's the only, as far as I'm aware, maybe my messages are just, like, different, but it's the only social media app, as far as I'm aware, where you could only message mutual followings. So I know, like, with Instagram and stuff, they have, like, the message requests,
Yeah.
Twitter, and whatever, like, you could just message anybody, but it only pops up my message feed, and I don't know if it's the same for you, like, when
Yeah.
somebody follows you that you follow. So I'd gotten the notification, that's how I'd, like, first been able to reach out to you because it said that I'm now, like, able to. But that was, I think that's something good that TikTok does is it gives you a good, like, mutual networking, ability.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's funny, man. Cause like for me, I get what you mean. I think when I was somewhere around like 800,000, Jordy 2D followed me, and I was like, dude, that's crazy, man. You know, like that's like everybody's talking about him and like Tim the Tatman playing together and stuff. And then he's just always been pretty encouraging and stuff. But he's a busy dude, and he's over in Canada and stuff. So it's like it's especially with his popularity, it's been hard to like talk to him. But I would love to pick his brain because he literally like, and he's even said it himself. He went from, like he started Twitch and all of a sudden had like 1,000 viewers like the same like at the end of that month, and it's like, and he's still been able to like hold on to it. Like you see a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people come and go that don't even stream anymore from when I started,
Mhm.
um, or at least started TikTok because I started TikTok about a year ago, this month.
Were you a quarantine baby?
You mean like as far as like doing all this stuff?
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
the genesis was, like, March last year.
I had a I had a job lined up on a TV set, or like for a guy who was going to be who works on TV sets over at the Fox studio a lot. I was living in LA at the time, and so I was just like, all right, well, whenever that opens back up, I'm gonna go do that. I didn't think that like all this stuff would actually turn into like a like full time paying job.
Mhm.
So, um, yeah, it's definitely one of those things where you look at it and it's like it's been a blessing and a curse at the same time, because it's like pandemic sucks, can't go to Disneyland, but like I definitely wouldn't be where I am right now if it wasn't for it.
Yeah, this stuff's life-changing in so
Yeah.
many ways. Like, the platform you have now and what you can do with the platform nowadays and how you're able to monetize it, like, you're pretty set. I mean, I feel like you could almost pivot wherever you want. You said you wanna get into directing, like, you see all these people that have followings now, they're able to literally do whatever they want. People are making songs, people are acting in movies because they have, like, a base, they have an audience, so people will watch you. They like you now. You've established your base, and like you said, like, it hasn't been waning for you. It's been very consistent. You've maintained viewership despite having your spikes upward and all. So I feel like for you, it's very easy to pivot whenever you do want to go back to that industry.
Yeah, I mean, but it's also daunting to think about because I mean, literally since probably, I want to say May, I haven't taken a break. Like, I literally, the only time I didn't like stream was when I moved from LA to Albuquerque. So for me, like the biggest stress is when do I take a break? But like people are telling me like now it's getting to a point where like if I took a break, people would be wanting me to come back, so it'd almost be like beneficial. But
Mm,
it still scares me. I don't want to
yeah.
stop doing anything. I don't think I could stop making TikToks. I think I would definitely still put out TikToks even if I like took a break from streaming for a week or something. But I don't think I'm ready to. There's no reason for me to, especially now that I have like a more consistent schedule. So
Right.
I
Well,
think,
it sounds like you've been doing a little bit though with, trying to free your Sundays and Saturdays a bit and giving yourself some more time with the family and all that. Has that just been, are you talking about just like a week where you just don't do anything
yeah,
besides post TikToks?
yeah, because I've always, especially being in the military and seeing how people have kind of had like mental breakdowns. Because I did helicopter search and rescue. It was like pretty stressful job, like the training and stuff to be able to do it. Like I saw people literally like, I don't want to say fake like health problems to get out, but I mean I saw stuff like that. So I've always been really concerned about keeping my mental health in check. Yeah, it's a big issue in this career field. You see people, you know, kind of act a little funny or say some stuff, and all of a sudden they're gone. And it's like, dude, it's a real problem. I think mental health is one of the things that people should definitely focus on more in this career field. And that's part of the reason why I do the podcast too. Is because like people don't really understand outside of watching us stream and stuff what we really like go through behind the scenes. This is a lot of work.
Yeah. No, and
Yeah.
you do pretty much everything yourself too. I mean, you recently hired a YouTube editor, but prior to that, 2 YouTube videos a week, 4-hour streams at various times. You had 2 different time slots, and then 5 TikToks a day. That's crazy. That's a lot of content. You're working. Like, I see why you got to be up early because you got to fit this stuff in. If you spend an hour doing each of those, that's 8 hours of just like work, and it's much more because you got to network, you got to do all this, you got to respond to comments, you got to do, and I'm sure you have stuff on the side as well. You have the podcast. There's so much going on for you. Yeah, you probably. I'm sure the break serves you well if it helps your mental case. You'll come back and you'll be fresher, and it'll be a refreshed
Yeah.
view of everything.
I'm good right now. I'm just saying, like, I know at some point I'm gonna have to do it, but I think I think I have an idea. I think what we'll do is like maybe I'll take the family to like Disney World or something when everything opens back up. I think that'd be really cool.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
we'll see. I think it would make for good content too. Because that's the other thing is since one thing that I'm happy about is like since I've been able to kind of like diversify my content, but like focus on family stuff too. That aspect of it, it allows me to kind of make content out of anything. So like there's been days where we had to get kicked out because they had to like come resurface the bathtub and you can't be in here because of the fumes. And so we'll like go out to eat at some new place, and that TikTok will do really well or something. So, but
Yeah, I would see your food reviews. Yeah, you could like vlog, become like a Roman Atwood YouTube channel if you wanted to. You could do like so much stuff.
yeah, people definitely want vlogs, but I just vlogging on top of everything else just sounds like a mess.
Yeah.
So much work. But I thought about maybe like a weekly thing. I'll do like a weekly vlog.
Would it be
It's
YouTube?
like yeah, it would be on YouTube.
Okay.
But
What's
my
your
my
Oh,
wife
sorry.
wants to get another camera, and start filming stuff. So we're thinking about that.
Like
Oh
a mobile sort of DSLR to bring around?
yeah.
Hmm.
What were you gonna
I
say?
was gonna I was gonna ask you what's your favorite, and I guess what you put the most energy towards, what you think is the most useful social media site at this point for you? Like, what is long term to you? Because a lot of people, their answers will be TikTok's sort of good to get the audience, but then of course you want to mobilize it away, and you want to try and get it to Twitch, YouTube, etc. So, like for you, what do you view? I know you possibly want to get into directing, but what short term slash medium term is your platform that you want to get everybody to and think is the most worthwhile?
I think YouTube is something that a lot of TikTokers struggle with. Getting content out there consistently and stuff. Because you look at TikTok, and you can make a TikTok in 5 minutes that pops off, but on YouTube you can't. It's really, it happens, but it's really hard to only put 5 minutes into a video and have it do crazy well. It's a whole nother beast. So my main focus the past couple of months, pretty much since I hit 1 million, like I've really been pushing the YouTube. I had like 30,000 subscribers a month ago, and so I'm almost to 70K now. I did. That's why I dyed my hair pink. If you didn't see, like it was like if I get to 50K, I'll dye it pink. And then I posted a TikTok saying if I hit 2 million, I would go bald, right? But that video got mass reported, and it was under community guidelines review for like 4 days. And then so I made another TikTok the next day after I posted that one saying, hey, it got reported, so how about 100K on YouTube? And everybody's like, okay, cool, yeah, let's do 100K on YouTube. And then my appeal got accepted, and that video got put back up, and then that video went viral. So now everybody's like, you hit 2 million, why aren't you bald? And I'm like, well, you guys did me dirty, So like there's this huge like argument going on whether I shaved my head or not.
Wait, I'm confused. Why would they mass report a video? Is it because you were not like self-promoting other
So
talent?
they claimed that I was all the reports were, I guess, that I was buying followers. That was the thing that they flagged me under. Like that was the thing they could stick. I don't know why. I mean, I've been banned on TikTok Live probably a dozen times now, falsely. So
there's a little bit of like a Dorito hate community. It sounds like. What is it?
It's I've talked to other creators my size, and it's a normal thing. It's like there's just once you get to a certain size, like people just come in to troll by reporting you. It's unfortunate, But I'm hoping once I get verified, it won't be as much of an issue. Because I think TikTok knows that once you get verified, like there's kind of like some expected hate that comes with that too, because like that check mark sticks out. So,
right.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm still waiting to see if I get one. I don't really care that much, to be honest. If I get a check mark, it's cool, but like, it's never been my focus. It's always been Twitch that I wanted to be, partnered on.
When did you get partnered on Twitch?
End of December, beginning of January.
Okay.
Somewhere around there. I didn't get an email, so like I don't know for sure what day I got it.
Same, yeah. I've never gotten an email from Twitch.
I got one when I got rejected the first time, but I didn't get one when I got accepted.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Twitch is really bad. Not to like, and I don't know if I could curse on here, but like.
Oh yeah, you're good. As long as it's not in the first 30 seconds.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. No F-bombs in the first 30 seconds, and you're good.
Yeah, I don't typically curse too much anyways, but I was just gonna say not to shit on Twitch, but they're really bad at communicating with creators and giving them reasons for things. So I got banned twice on Twitch at this point, and I have no idea why. But it would be helpful to know because I want to know if I have repeatable content that I could like continue doing. So like I don't know if something I did was maybe DMCA unfriendly or if it was breaking TOS for other reasons. Because I'll do a bunch of stuff. Like the stuff I stream is straight variety. And I'll definitely push certain boundaries. Like, I don't know if like sleeping on stream is maybe too much, or maybe I did play a song, or maybe I definitely push boundaries. There's stuff that I do that I could see maybe like could be perceived negatively, but I have no idea. So they banned me twice. They literally pulled my live stream. They pulled one in, I think, January and then December. I was like streaming. It was like 2 hours in, and then just like they pulled the plug. No reason ever. But now I have like 2 strikes in my account. I'm like, shit.
So like
I'm nervous now.
How long were they for?
2 days each.
2 days each. Okay, so they're not, because usually if it's super serious, it'll escalate. So to go from like a 24-hour ban to like a 3-day ban to a 7-day ban to a month ban and then a perma ban. That's what I've seen. But after you get after the week ban, yeah. So it's probably DMCA if I had to guess. So it sounds like to me. I don't know if maybe it could be anything. Somebody could have reported you for, because a lot of times you get reported and then like they run your VOD through a thing.
So I had an issue back in February. I had this person, and like I don't want to like talk too much about it because it actually got pretty bad, but there's basically this person, no joke, like stalking me, like obsessed with me. Very weird. I've never dealt with this before. And I can
relate.
Right? I'm a small creator. I wonder what like mega creators deal with, because I'm like, holy shit, man. So there was this one person who, like, again, I don't even want to like talk too much about this because I don't want to like bring this shit up again. But like, and I only found this out through somebody else because this person like couldn't keep their mouth shut about what they were doing, and they were like so anti me for some reason. So the moment I would go live on Twitch, on 14 different accounts. They would report my content immediately. And like the justification they would use, like to make it a valid, I guess, complaint is as I'm switching games, I always start in just chatting. I'm there for like 10 minutes. As I'm switching, so there's like a 10-second buffer. I'll like turn on the game I'm playing or like whatever I'm doing. I'll still be in just chatting technically. They would wait in my stream, clip that 10-second thing, and then mass report on 14 accounts for the basis of me being in other categories. All of February this happened. It got to the
Yeah.
point I had to like really almost just like I almost had to get like somebody involved. I don't view things like all right, I hate like using the word harassment. I feel like, I've never like been harassed online, but that's like immediate like targeting sort of harassment of online. If you're waiting with 14 accounts to report my content, and dude,
Yeah.
it wasn't just Twitch. So then I found out 20 different alt accounts on TikTok. Dude, it was ridiculous. All of February, every single time I would post a video, within the first 50 minutes, there would be this one comment. So like typically how my comment section goes is like 90% is like related to the video,
Yeah.
10% is like, whatever, maybe like a couple of like, oh, staged or like whatever type comments. But then there's always like this one comment that I would notice that had nothing to do with anything, but it was just straight like hate. It was really weird and personal. I was like, who is this? What is this? Like this comment makes no
Yeah.
sense. So I would like block the account because like I'm like, this is just an outlier. Like it makes no sense. It's probably making other people uncomfortable. And then I'd come back the next day and I'd have to block another account. It got to the point so there was 20 accounts. So what I did is I looked at all the usernames. I was like, and there was a theme. Again, I don't want to like divulge too much, but there was a theme to all the usernames. So I ended up having like a little, I thought I knew who it was because it was somebody in like my Twitch community. And then
Mhm.
like I reached out to this person who knew this person, and they basically confirmed everything that I was like suggesting to them. I was like, "Is this person who's doing this?" And they're like, "Yeah, and by the way, they also do XYZ. They also like report your Twitch account." And so that's how I found all this stuff out. But it got to the point like this person had to be like outed, not just like I had to reach out to Twitch and stuff to put a hold on these mass reportings. It got really bad. And this is right around the time I was applying for partner too. I was having like a good little spike up, things were going well. I was like, this person, man, I can't
Yeah.
possibly risk this person reporting my stream, interfering with my content. So I had to like get Twitch involved, and it became like this really big thing. I'm probably underselling it, by the way, too. It just
No,
got
my community knows because I went through, like I said, I went through the thing where, like somebody literally from this person's community that I thought was like their best friend reached out to me and was like, "Hey, this guy basically just kind of tossed me aside, and he's been doing all this stuff. I've been involved with it. I'm sorry, but you should know that this guy like has cruel intentions." And I noticed that there was like a pattern. Like sometimes I would post a TikTok and it would get flagged right away and like stuck under review for like an hour, right? And this person would post a TikTok very similar to it within that hour. You know what I mean? And
mhm.
so I was like, that's suspicious. And then this person was also like, yeah, they've been reporting you for view botting, because like I went from like 50 viewers to like 150, 200, and then kind of like trickled down. But like they were like totally thinking that I was view botting. Just yeah, it was definitely cruel intentions. So I totally get it, man. It's a especially since like I was full time with it right from the start. So it's like they're messing with my livelihood, Like I got a family
Right, yeah.
to feed and put a
Yeah.
roof over. So yeah,
People are
I
so
was not
weird,
happy about
man.
it. I was
I
pretty
don't get
hostile
it.
about it on TikTok. I was like, I
You
called him
should be,
out straight
yeah.
up.
Yeah, you
So
got to be because otherwise you don't want to set a precedent where this is allowable. You have to basically set it straight early. Like, I'm not dealing with this. Like, you're going to be publicly outed. Like, I'm going to not send my community for you, but you have to be almost hostile back and just say,
yeah,
this is my life. This is my career. Stop interfering. You're like a single person who's hates me for some reason. I'm not going to let you affect my content. You have to
yeah,
let that be known. So I think that's the right thing.
yeah. And I mean, people, I after going through that, and well, after going through like two bad little spouts of drama, like I watched a video I think Nate Shot posted where he talked about how he talked about drama and like how he was like really trying to avoid drama now because like he just kind of went into depth like why it's stupid, and like how it doesn't really do anything for anybody and that you shouldn't do it unless you feel like somebody's personally attacking you and trying to like throw you, they're trying to hurt you, financially, your brand, whatever. Um And so it would definitely take a lot now for me to like waste the energy on a person for that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um but yeah, no, at the time, this person that I know it sounds so weird because like now we're being like super vague and stuff, but um we were kind of around the same spot, like follower wise. Like he caught up to me and then he passed me a little bit, and I was like, if I'm gonna like say something about this, I gotta do it now before it's to the point where they're gonna be like, oh, you're just clout chasing, you know? Um but I made sure to like not say too much because I was like, the way that this guy has been going about stuff, I bet you anything he'll like throw himself under the bus. Like he'll say like I accused him of one thing, and then he brings up like Minecraft servers and all this other stuff that I didn't even know about, you know? So yeah, and then like later on, like a month after it all happened, everybody had kind of been like, yeah, like the, that guy's weird, like that is kind of creepy, and like the dust settled. He posted one more video showing all these messages and like comments, and I'm like, dude, it does. I don't know why he would do that. That just looks like he's watching my every move, you know? But
Yeah.
yeah,
God.
so I totally get it, man. Stuff like that it's hard to know how to go about it, you know? It's a weird situation. So
Yeah, and just I mean, I had this one, and this is like my first experience with beef with a creator because the person I'm talking about was just like a viewer, but this is like I had my first TikTok beef, I'd call it. Probably I think it was maybe second week of January, had to be. So I posted this Wikipedia speed run, which
okay.
was basically me going from I don't know if you've ever seen these before. It's like me going from like Minecraft to LeBron James in like 15 seconds.
I've seen one guy
So
do them specifically.
right, and this is
So
probably the person who
yeah,
yeah, I'm
it's so
beefing with, I
stupid,
guess.
man, that
So
people.
I know it's the dumbest thing. Like I'm gonna say this, it sounds so dumb, but it got pretty. It's not like crazy beef, but it's just if I once I tell you this, it's just like why did this happen? But basically, so I post this video, and he posted a video a day later, and he tagged me for like inspo whatever, like hey this is content creds. And then I noticed like every single his page became the Wikipedia speedrun page. Like he would literally 4 or 5 posts a day, just all Wikipedia speedruns. It got to the point where he was amassing like 10,000 followers a day, and he started to pass me in followers too, which is like crazy because I had my account for like 2 months. He
Yeah.
started his the day after I posted my first Wikipedia video, and he started like booming, and he was doing super well, and he became the Wikipedia guy. And I was like, all right, you know what? Cool. Like, yeah, he ran with the one idea. He gave me cred, whatever. I didn't even like want cred anyways, but it's just like, okay. And he started, it kind of annoyed me because he kept popping up on my For You page. So I was like, all right, whatever. But I saw him and he was doing well. I'm like, all right, let him eat. Cool. And then I started posting some GeoGuessr videos, and I think I was very early to the GeoGuessr trend. I think I was posting in like January, late January. I was doing some GeoGuessr stuff, which on TikTok was pretty early to that. And then he started posting GeoGuessr content. I was like, huh, okay, that's weird. So like it was Wikipedia, and then it was GeoGuessr as well. And then there was another piece of content that I got into, and I think this might have been something. I think I had like a specific text to speech video or something. And then it would be
Yeah.
the same exact thing. And this guy, like at this point, like wasn't even hiding it. He like was so unashamed about it, doing the exact same thing. And then he blocked me, and I've never spoken to this guy before. He just blocked me out of nowhere. I
Hmm.
guess because he just didn't want me to see everything his account was going through. But it was the same. It got to the point like same exact content, same exact thing. I've never spoken to this guy ever. And then he blocked me. He didn't even follow me.
Hmm.
He just like, I guess, took inspo, but like you wouldn't block somebody if you weren't like, I guess, afraid of them seeing your content so that they call you
Yeah.
out. Not that I would have called them out, but like preemptively blocking somebody,
It's
I've
an
never
admission of,
experienced that before. It is an admission of
yeah.
guilt to just block me out of nowhere. So now I have beef with him because like you blocked me. Like, why would you block me, dude?
Yeah. So
I
that,
didn't care before. Now it's like, why would you block me?
yeah, you were definitely the first person that I think that's what caught my eye was the GeoGuessr thing, because I didn't know what GeoGuessr was. I'd never heard of it. So like I was like, oh, this is interesting, you know. And then I saw your videos, and then I think I followed you because of that, and then you reached out about the Jeopardy thing not too long after that, I think. Um, so like I remember seeing, if this is the person I think, I remember seeing the Wikipedia ones. Definitely remember that. Um, but dude, the way I look at it is like, if somebody starts like straight up copying what you're doing, um it almost it hurts them more in the long run than anything, you know. Especially if they trap themselves into like one specific thing. Like maybe like I've seen like you've posted some sleep stream stuff, like all kinds of stuff. Like you're not just GeoGuessr stuff or just Wikipedia stuff. So if somebody just starts hammering out the same exact form of content all the time, I feel like I've noticed that either people get burnt out on it. Like I noticed that my G Fuel videos started to kind of plateau. Like I wasn't getting the views on them anymore, so I started doing them less frequently or changing them up, and they started to get views again. And now it's to the point where like, or if I don't do one for a couple of days, they're like, "You have a mixed G Field," you know what I mean? Like it's like, all right, now there's a demand for it. But it seems like if you do the same, like if you just do Wikipedia speed runs, you know, 5 times a day, every day for a month, either your audience gets burnt out on it, or the creator does. Like I think I feel bad because I can't think of his name. I've been talking to so many people lately. Like the names are a hard thing for me to keep track of. He was on the Jeopardy with us, the one that does the orange suit.
Oh, Josh.
Yeah,
Morris.
Josh. I've seen him kind of toy with the idea of being like burnt out on that. Like it's kind of cool to see him kind of take advantage of it and make content out of that.
Yeah, his most recent TikTok was him saying like,
Yeah.
this suit is so tight. I'm tired of doing the face. But yeah,
Yeah.
he's like ironically getting views because of it.
Yeah.
But he's also probably speaking to something that he wants to pivot eventually away from this because he's talk about boom. Josh has like, I don't know if you saw his videos. He was out in LA recently with like Marshmello and stuff. He was
What?
with like A-list
Bro,
celebrities,
that's
yeah, making
crazy.
TikToks like Dylan Francis, that DJ,
Yeah,
literally like everybody. He was like all over my For You page on like various accounts. I'm
that's
like, good
crazy,
for you,
man.
man, because I had reached out to him, probably had like maybe like a million, 1.1, 1.2 or something. Maybe it was a little higher. I don't know. Now he's at like 2.5,
Yeah,
but
I saw his video
he's
about the
been
2 million, and then he was at like 2.4 like 2 days later.
yeah, his growth, he's taking over TikTok now. And it's cool because he streams too. So he's trying to, I think he understands that he's smart. So I think he understands that he has to mobilize his audience. And so, I mean, dude, I went into his live, like 8,000 people in there. Like it's crazy stuff. Like his
Yeah,
TikTok lives are crazy. So he tells them, he's like, all right, I'm about to go live on Twitch. He does the stuff and then he'll stream on TikTok simultaneously with being live. So I think he's starting to get savvy with that. But that's good because you hear that song and it's like he's taken over TikTok. Like this man is the hottest. There used to be like a creator every month on TikTok who would be like the guy. And he's
yeah,
been like the guy for 2 months now. And he's capitalizing on it too, which is really
yeah,
cool. So yeah,
yeah,
props to him. I'm glad we got him on Jeopardy because
yeah. That was
he
cool.
knows he's gonna be to the
I've
moon.
I've thought about reaching out to him. I'm like, because if I don't, like maybe he'll be at 10 million soon, and he won't have the time. So
Yeah.
we'll see. It's like when I started this year, my goal was 1 million. So like now I'm like, what is the goal anymore? You know, like 10 million,
Yeah.
5 million. Like I don't even know. Like I kind of stopped caring about the number. Like I just want to focus on the audience, the people that are there. You know, to keep them around. I think that's the biggest thing.
That's a good mindset, yeah.
Yeah, and then like the other thing is because you were talking about like the film and TV stuff that I had mentioned. I had decided to move to Albuquerque. Um, kind of just like throwing like darts at a board. I was like, all right, like where do we go? Vegas is getting too expensive because everybody's moving from LA to Vegas. My sister had just moved to Texas, and she explained to me like how hard it was to find a house that 10 people weren't competing for because everybody's moving to Texas now after Joe Rogan and all them did.
Mm.
And so I was like, well, I don't want to go back to my home state, Arizona, because there's nothing there. And then Phoenix is just like chaotic. It's like growing too fast for the city to keep up with. Like they literally have like a freeway that they've just been like building in a circle around it. It's ridiculous, man. So I was like, yeah, Phoenix is out of the question. And then so I was like, what about Albuquerque? Like Albuquerque seems to be a place that's been consistently like growing. They got everything there. And then I had mentioned how like the biggest thing that I was sad about was moving from LA, like the film industry isn't there. But I was like, there is kind of like a film and TV industry in Albuquerque, I told my wife and I was like, so it maybe someday, And then literally like a couple days later, Netflix announced that they're investing $1 billion into the industry here. So I was
Let's
like,
go.
that's just like weird, man. So it's like, all right, Albuquerque it is, you know. Um,
Right.
so I have a buddy, a TikToker and Twitch streamer that he works in the film and TV industry back in LA, and so I was talking to him, and he gave me a recommendation for a talent agency. So I'm looking at doing the acting side now. Like it was like more of like I wanted to start as a production assistant, but you don't make any money, and it's first on set, last one to leave. It would mean no more content creation stuff. It just wouldn't work. So,
Mhm.
yeah, the joke is that I'm gonna get killed by a Demogorgon or something because they're supposed to film the fifth season of Stranger Things here. So, I've had a couple people say that like you don't even have to like you gotta try and get a cameo where like you're just in the background eating a bag of Doritos. Like it's like all I gotta do.
Yeah.
If I can get that. But no, I'm curious to start that. I've got that. I'm sad to admit that the whole VA thing, like the whole medical thing, like getting your disability check started. I've been out for almost a year now, and I still haven't like started that process. Like I started it, and the guy who was handling my stuff got COVID, and I never heard from him again. So I hope he's still alive. But older dude too, so I was like, oh man. But I was like looking at moving and stuff, so I just kind of never followed up with it. But I got to start that process, and I'm not looking forward to that because it's like a million appointments, So, but we'll see. Because that, to me, like the other goal, like you said, like mobilizing your audience. I've Harris Heller's advice was always don't put all your eggs in one basket because he always talks about his whole thing with Vine, right? You know about that.
Yeah.
And so that's why I've been focusing so much on trying to get YouTube going. I finally got monetized on there. I didn't realize that if you have an email that's linked to your YouTube and you try to create an AdSense account with that, but you have an error, then you can't make another AdSense account with that like name and address together for some reason. So I had to like use my parents' address to like just get the account made. I was like, this is so ridiculous. But yeah, no, now I'm making like $10 to $15 a day on YouTube. So it's like, every bit helps.
Oh, the big bucks, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Are you in the creator fund for TikTok?
No, I'm not in, which I feel like is dumb, but I'm just
I
I don't
almost
know. I'm a little scared of and I'm sure you know what I'm about to say. How the moment I enter in, just views drop.
It won't happen. I can guarantee
Uh,
you it won't happen.
I know you're killing it. You're like the guy, but then I've seen some people, and maybe it's just quality of content goes down. That's
That's
entirely
exactly
possible.
what I
That's
think it
probably
is.
it. It's probably it, right? But then, like, part of me is like, they only got so much money in that fund.
Dude,
They
they
only got so much money.
I I'm starting to get to the point where if my TikTok continues to grow the way it is, I'll be making just about as much as I do on Twitch for the TikTok Creator Fund. So it's no joke. It's been paying my rent for like the last 6 months, or since it started.
Mm-hmm.
Like I right away, like it also has to do with how I post 5 times a day. But like now I usually have at least 1 or 2 videos that hit 1 million. Um, so I definitely think it's something to not sleep on. I've heard the argument. People like, oh, like my views are down. Like I've seen the TikToks too, where people are like, I joined the Creator Fund and now like my videos are shadow banned. Like fix it. It's
Bullshit.
It's definitely, I would say 100%.
100% bullshit.
100%.
95% bullshit.
100%. I know, like I know people who joined it and then left it, and no change. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I think it's just quality content. I think people are they're just looking for something to blame.
You know what? I never trusted anyone until I heard you say it, because now I actually this is a good endorsement for it, because a lot of people who tell me they're not like big accounts, maybe they're just like my size or something, and so like they'll tell me, and I'm like I don't know if to believe this or not. But if you're saying this, I'll join it after this. But then I'm gonna blame you if my views go to like
Well,
5,000 views per video, right?
if
As
it
long as you're
makes
okay with it.
if it makes you feel any better, my wife has an account and she joined, and it didn't affect her. My sister just made an account. She hit 10K and now she's at 26K. She's still consistently growing. She joined it. I think my mom's close to joining it. My whole family's getting on TikTok. The Dorito fam's taking over. Yeah, but yeah,
That's
no,
cool. You're getting them all involved.
Yeah, but my wife's already at like almost 400K, dude.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, I look at her, I'm just like, you're welcome. And she's like, no, you know, like, and I'm like, I look and it's like, it's definitely like 50-50, I would say. She's definitely got like like a good chunk of her audience is people who like don't know about me or don't follow me. So it's interesting to see her like grow like a different little community that kind of like
Yep.
intersects with mine. It's just funny though, because she'll complain. She'll be like, I make a video and like everybody goes over to her account to try and like get something out of it, you know, like, hey, tell them to do this, tell them to do that, you know. And so yeah, but no, she'll go live when I'm on Twitch sometimes, like on her TikTok live. And it's funny because people come over to my Twitch and be like, hey, your wife said you were live, you know. Like, and I'm like, okay, cool. You know, like she's funneling people over.
Let's
so
go.
yeah, no, it's TikTok powerhouse over here.
Yeah, the whole family. That's awesome, man. I'm gonna join, I think. So I only post one video a day. So I work like a job during the day. So I have like a 9 to 5. And so I post one video a day. I try to just keep it somewhat consistent with just like the length and all, but it's
Mm.
nothing like crazy like the process, I guess, of making my TikTok. So I only make one a day as of now. So the money I get from it, if assuming I keep up my views, I've done the math before and like it's definitely money, because I'm not getting like 0 views. I'll have videos that, you know, get millions of views, but you know, I have like a job. So for me, like the income side is not like a forethought. I'm not really like I have to make money from TikTok. I'm more so worried about monetizing my Twitch and kind of like continuing my day job in a lot of ways. So I viewed it as too much of a risk to just enter it. But again, if you're endorsing it and you're saying like there is no effect, I mean, I might as well join then, I think. But I didn't think it was worth it. Even if there was a 1% chance that my views would drop, it wasn't worth to me the potential payout that I'd be getting from just posting once a day. Because posting once a day, even if I were to hypothetically get like, you know, call it like 500,000 views per video, it would be change for sure. But again, it's not worth the 1% risk that my account just goes to shit. But if you're saying 100% and if you've seen, you know, if you had a positive experience with it, like that's good enough for me. I trust the Dorito, uh, the mantra coming from you and your family,
I hope
because
I'm
you're
not
making
starting beef.
superstars, man.
You come after me like my views.
Well, that'll be good for views too. So
Yeah. Yeah. No. If you don't mind me asking, like, what state are you in?
I'm in New Jersey.
New Jersey. Okay, that's right. That's right. I remember talking about that during the Jeopardy. Like, what do you do for a living?
I work in finance, so I work at a bank.
Okay.
I went to school in the city, and then right after graduating, I took up a job at a bank, and then I've just been there for 3 years now. It's starting to get really old. It's starting to get kind of annoying, but yeah, I've just been. I mean, working from home is like one of the easiest things of all time. It's so much less demanding than being in the office, so I just don't think I need to, I don't know, like leave it and take crazy risks because I'm not doing too much anyways, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
I'm really in a good position, I'd say. But I still do have like a 9 to 5 that I have to work. So even like doing something like this with you, I have to like schedule out and block out my schedule and all that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I think like a lot of people like are surprised when I say that, but I'm like, I mean, I'm definitely not big enough for you to think that I could be doing this full time, I feel. So
Yeah. I mean,
so yeah, people are like,
it's
oh, do you do
definitely
full?
it's a definitely a different. I didn't mean to cut you off, man. Sorry, what are you saying?
No, yeah, no.
It's definitely weird for me because I didn't have a job. Like, I got out of the military and I was like, all right, I got like 15 grand saved up. You know, like I traded in my Mustang 5.0 for a Corolla. Like, I'm set. You know what I mean? Like, I get out and like I'll be able to kind of support myself for like 3 to 6 months, hopefully. You know, before like if I don't have something going, I'm kind of in a sketchy area. Um, so for me it was always full time. You know, people are like, when are you gonna go full time? And it's like, well, I kind of am. You know, like I don't do anything else right now. I'm just kind of waiting for things to open back up. And then I want to say September, October, I got a phone call. So I had been doing it kind of full time for like 4 months. And this assistant director that I was in contact with was like, hey, you know, this spinoff of Blackish is starting production again. I got to, you know, the first person I called for this production assistant job. And he's like, we start in a week or in 2 weeks. And I was like, oh man, what do I do? You know, I'm like on the spot, have to come up with an answer. And I was like, I think I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, you know? And I explained to him and he's like, well, if it, you know, good for you, man. He's like making something out of this, but if it doesn't work out, you know, there's always a job here for you. Cause he was a veteran as well. So, but that was definitely like that big moment where like, it was like, I'm really doing this, you know, like this is my job. So
Yeah.
it was
Wow,
scary,
so
man. And I had a huge drop in viewership and stuff like a week after that because everybody started going back to school and work. So I was like,
Oh,
did I make
no.
the right choice? You know, it was definitely like stressful for about a month, and then I think I got more confident with it. You know,
Right. It
but
definitely lights a fire under your ass when you don't have anything else to fall back on and you have to make this work. Like you go into this, it's like survival mode for careers that certain people have, and it's just if it kicks in, and it obviously did for you, you'll make it work. You have to, you literally need to make it work, right? Because this is your income now.
yeah,
So it's almost fun, like the journey, because it's like we got to make this work. I was talking to my friend about this actually because he's considering quitting his job and doing something entrepreneurial. And it's like, just go for it, man. You're young, take the
yeah,
risk. It's going to be exciting. You're going to look back and be like, wow, that was wild that I did that. But if it works, amazing. And if it doesn't work, you could always get, like you said, I mean, the guy said you could still always go back or there'll be a position for you. I feel like the downsides, they're not even close to what the upsides are. And you're experienced a lot of the upsides. So you've clearly made the right decision. But even if somebody didn't reach like the Dorito level, it's still worth to pursue, I feel.
yeah. No, I know people who are it's I don't like saying it like that, but there's definitely people who are a lot smaller than me that do it full time and they're doing just fine. You know what I mean? Like there's not there's it also depends on where you live. If I that was why I moved from LA because my rent was $2,000 alone. You know,
Mm,
so a big thing with moving was just once I decided this is my full time thing, I was like, there's no reason to live in a place where it's so expensive. We can never get a house here. I would never want to. You know, like it's just property tax and everything over there in Cali is just ridiculous. So, um, I'm trying to think because I almost got stationed in Jersey. I don't know if you know anything about the Coast Guard, but they have like the air interdiction. So what they do is they have a station in Atlantic City and they deploy to DC and they do air interdiction. So they'll like literally fly around a plane and be like, "Hey, you're getting too close to the White House. Like you're being you're being pulled over basically."
mm. Wow.
And like if they don't listen, we're supposed to like straight up like kamikaze fly into them. So I was it's never happened,
Yeah, I
you
was gonna
know,
say that
but
doesn't happen
you would
here
definitely
too
hear
much.
about it, but definitely not would be the first one.
Oh
So,
yeah.
but yeah, it was either that or I was gonna I qualified for sniper school and they were gonna send me to North Carolina to go to school for that. But if I failed sniper school, I was gonna be stuck as a full-time mechanic, and that was the part of the job that I hated. I liked flying
Mm,
and doing the search and rescue. So to me, being stuck as a full-time mechanic for like 4 years just sounded like hell. So I was like, you know
right.
what? This is too much of a gamble. I'm out. I did 6 years and I got out. I pissed a lot of people off because they pulled some strings to get me like the training and stuff. But I was like, you know what? Like if I enlist for another 3 years, I'm gonna be at 9, and it's 20 to retire. So I don't want to be one of those people who feels like pressured into just going a full 20.
Right.
You know, because I would get out and I'd be almost 40, and it's like to start a whole nother career at 40 years old. You know that like I want to do like it's not impossible, but I mean trying to start as a production assistant or something like that in the film and TV industry at 40 years old did not sound like fun. So
Yeah.
you know, because you don't get paid very well. I mean, I would have a pension, but
So, like, when you had initially left the Coast Guard and you're trying to like transition to another career, how did you ever experience like any like negative perceptions kind of coming out of the military and trying to get into a field that you've never had experience in before?
you
Or
mean
was
like
it
from
generally
which side
positive?
of it? Like you mean like on the civilian
Like,
side or?
yeah.
So on the civilian side, no, everybody seems to be pretty cool. They're like, oh, you're a veteran. Like, you know, like they try to kind of help you out because they feel like, you know, like there was one guy, he's like, yeah, dude, I was the assistant director that hooked me up. He was like, yeah, I did 2 years and got kicked out for medical stuff. So he's like, I respect it, man. He's like, he was like, well, give me your phone number, you know? And I was like, well, I'm not out for another 6 months, so I don't want to like waste your time, you know, because I can't do anything. until my contract's over, and then everything shut down. I've literally been in lockdown since February because I was stationed in San Francisco, deploying to LA because they closed the air station there. Because I guess it was too expensive for the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard's like the poor redheaded stepchild of the military. You know, I get into arguments on TikTok all the time about that it's not military, you know, you guys are just Boy Scouts. But I'm like, bro, I was fishing dead bodies out of the ocean, man. I did some stuff too, you know, like that, you know, it's I joke about it now, you know, it not being a branch and stuff. And then I've had people like back me up too. It's kind of funny. Like, you know, now that like I'm a little bigger, like people are like, hey, like, yeah, that was military, man. You don't know what he went through, you know, just because he wasn't like shooting at people. Right. Doesn't mean anything, but, no, I honestly, I got more backlash in the military getting out. Cause like it was a challenge to get the job that I had, right off the bat. Like I think only like 1,500 people do the exact job that I did, you know, at one time. And so when I was getting out, you have 2 years to come back to the military. There, at least I think it's for all the branches, but for the Coast Guard, it was like you have 2 years to like literally come back, just do like a refresher, and then like you have the same job again. So everybody's like, you'll be back, dude. Like you're gonna go out there and see how like hard it is to like get a real, you know, like a job and all that stuff, and you'll be back. And I was just like, screw you guys, man. Like, don't be putting your, like, you know, I don't know what you want to call it. Like, just don't put your negative stuff, you know, your doubts onto me, you know, just because what it felt like.
For sure, yeah.
It was like they were like scared to get out, so they were telling me it was a bad idea. But
so do they see you now? Like, do you keep in touch
with
some people?
There's some people who are like, dude, when did you become like Twitch famous? I'm like, I'm not famous, dude. Like I definitely like, I feel like I made something out of it, but there's been people who've come and ask, like, hey, I'm trying to be a Twitch streamer too. You mind like dropping a raid? And I'm like, bro.
Oh my gosh, which is actually funny. So first off, I appreciate the raid yesterday. And this is gonna go against what I just said, but like raids, I feel like
I hate raids.
Yeah,
I hate them.
Like raids are, it's for me, like when I raid somebody now, it's just like, what's up? But there's no benefit to the streamer with the raid.
Yeah.
There's like zero benefit. So, and my favorite story is like one time Ninja in his prime in like 2017, he had like 150,000 viewers at the time. He raided somebody with zero concurrence. And for the next 2 days, that person's viewership was like pretty up, like obviously up from zero, and call it like maybe like 400 average or something. 30 days later, back to zero. Had all the followers still, everything was still the same. Got a raid from the biggest streamer of all time, right? This is when Ninja was like with Drake, like 250,000 subs or whatever. Back to zero. And like every single time that I've rated somebody or somebody's rated me, it's more of kind of like a fun thing in the moment, but it really doesn't do anything. So like people will beg for raids. They'll be like, hey, can you raid me? I'm like, it's not going to help you. Like, yeah, like it's fun and it's cool to experience. And if you get a raid, it's like hype for those first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But those people, I mean, they're there because you were moved there by the person you were watching.
Yeah.
You don't know this person. You have no reason to care about this person. You don't necessarily like their content, whatever they're doing. So like, you're not going to stick around. Maybe like if you get like one average viewer, you could call it like a success from it because you gained somebody, but it's very rare that happens, man. I've never, and I haven't been on Twitch super long. It's been about a year that I've been on Twitch, but from my experience, I haven't seen any true benefits of a raid. Like, and not to say it's a negative thing. Raids are fun and cool, and they're cool. I think it's good to mobilize the community, but I've never seen like anybody really benefit from a raid.
Yeah, I look at raiding as like for me right now, I look at it as like a form of networking. Like if I've been talking to somebody and it's like, you know, like maybe I thought about reaching out to them about the podcast or something, I'll like drop a raid and then like, you know, usually they'll be like, hey, thanks for the raid, you know, and I'll like be like, yeah, dude, no problem, you know, like I like your content and this and that, and then maybe later on I'll be like, hey, you want to be on the podcast, you know, like I'd like to get to know you better. So that's how I look at it. I definitely think they're overglorified. Like I've considered getting rid of it, but I feel like people will get super pissed, so I'm not ready to do that. But I have a guide to raid channel points reward, and I had to up it recently because it was getting redeemed like almost every day, and I was like, all right, it's time to up it, you know.
Yeah.
But at first, it was like you just wherever you want it, I'll send it, you know. And so a lot of people were just like rating themselves, and so I was like, all right, I don't like that. So I changed it to like it says like you can't rate yourself; it has to be somebody else. And people are pissed about that. They're like, you mean I can't rate myself? And I'm like, bro, like I try to explain to them, you know, raids don't do anything, man. Like don't like just rely on a raid. Go make some content, man. Like, you know,
Yeah.
don't be
Good
taking
content
your
will
yeah.
win.
Don't take your frustration out on me. Take it out on yourself for not doing something else, you know.
Right.
So,
Right.
but
Well, that's crazy that you would rate anybody because, like, I would only rate somebody that I have watched their content before because I don't want to rate somebody whose content I disagree with. Like, not to say people do disagreeable content on Twitch, but like, let's say there's somebody who is requested to be rated and they're like somewhat controversial. I just don't want to get into like integrating myself into their world, even the slightest with a raid. Like, I have to make sure I know that person, that I've seen their content before. So I raid very sparingly, probably like once a month. Like my friend was doing like a uncapped subathon recently, so I raided
yeah,
her yesterday. But prior to that, like yeah, like you said, it's almost for personal benefit, like for networking purposes. Like it's not going to benefit them. It's more so if I want to reach out to somebody, say what's up, or if it's just like a friend or something, then I'll raid. But otherwise, like yeah, I don't even think about it. I don't even know how to really raid. I raid so it takes me like 3 to 5 minutes to find like the raid button. I don't even know where it is. Like I have that completely shut out, the raid
yeah.
portion.
Like Harris Heller, like sometimes I'll raid him because like I have some questions and like I'll raid him and it'd be like, hey man, like you rated me. You're still growing, you know, and like gave me a couple like answers to some questions I had. So like that's you know, like to me it definitely benefits me more than the streamer, and I think they know that. But
Yeah, yeah.
um, like his Harris Heller's editor too. Like I rated him and then asked a couple questions, you know, about like you know like what is a good starting point for like paying somebody like per video and stuff like that. And then like it's funny because like the editor I got is in the UK as well, so it's like it's kind of funny how that worked out. Um, but yeah, it's it's interesting to see how much people like they almost wait around for this huge raid to happen that statistically is never going to happen, you know.
Yeah,
They're just
for
waiting for
sure.
it to happen. Like
Yeah, yep, yep.
I mean, and I'm guilty of it too. When I like not guilty of that, but I'm guilty of like when I've been streaming for 4 years. And so like the first 3 years I wasn't consistent cuz like I didn't take it seriously and then I was in the military, so with deployments it's not like I'm going to bring my setup on a AC-130, you know, with me to like wherever. So
No
I
IRL stream
yeah,
going out.
IRL stream. Uh but I didn't I just streamed, you know? Like I everybody at first I feel like thinks, "Oh, you know, I just stream and then people will show up and if I'm funny enough or more entertaining enough, people will stick around and I'll start growing." But it's like, no, you really have to like go outside of Twitch and showcase yourself so that you're discoverable 24/7, you know, not
Mhm.
only when you're live on Twitch. So, and
Twitch discoverability is really bad.
Harris Heller's the one who, like, I saw his video about that and it all clicked. So,
Yeah, it almost I personally feel like if you're streaming and you're not creating content elsewhere, it's like you shouldn't be streaming. You're going to grow while you're not streaming. You don't grow while you're streaming. You grow while you're off stream working on your other platforms trying to get people to Twitch. I wish I had learned that's like the one like it's not even a regret because I'm glad I sort of just like learned these things, but I feel like the first 9 months when I was streaming were a complete waste. I mean, I learned experience. I feel like I'm actually a decent streamer now. I think I have good control of the stream. So I'm glad I learned these things. But in terms of growth, it's 9 months that I just missed out on growth because I was doing nothing but streaming.
yep.
All I was doing was just streaming. And I thought more hours live equals better for me. Being live for 5, 6 hours a day, good. It's like not good. Like put those hours
Yeah.
towards TikTok or YouTube or try and grow on platforms that will actually help you out because Twitch is garbage at discoverability. And I thought that I was naive. I was like, okay, by being live, like eventually people will come. Like if I have good content, like no, you have to do other things. And so 9 full months, because I was also like right at the beginning of quarantine is when I began streaming. And I just like I looking back, I'm like, what if started things then? Like what if I had started my TikTok account then? What if I had done this? But hindsight's 2020, and I'm glad that I eventually learned what I had to do right, and I just got to keep doing it now. And I'm sure there's going to be other things in a few months. I'm like, shit, you should have done that. But this is a big one. Like not creating other socials for a long time definitely screwed me.
Yeah,
So,
and Harris Heller talks about it all the time about how like he can literally sit there for hundreds of videos and explain all this to you, but there's only a select few like us that will actually take that information and figure out how to do it. Like he's like it's almost job security for him because he's like he knows that a lot of people won't want to put in the effort, you know, because it's a lot of work, man. I probably streaming is only like a third of what I spend my time doing now, and I stream 30 hours a week. So
30 hours. Wow. So you actually 30 hours. Wow. So what do you do?
just
5, 6
recently,
hours?
so I do 5 6 hour streams, yeah, Monday through Friday. Before it was 6 4 hour streams. So people are like, oh no more Saturday streams, and I'm like, hey, do the math, you know, you're getting an extra 6 hours a week, you know. So
Yeah.
but no, I think sticking to like the same time Monday through Friday is gonna definitely benefit me in the long run now.
Right.
But yeah, I was not ready to invest that much time in actually streaming until it felt like I kind of had a hand on everything. Because like the other thing that scares me is like I watch all these videos. I'm sorry if I'm saying like a lot. I'm trying so hard to stop saying it. I'm so bad at it.
No, dude, it's all right. It's the Cali, and I'm from New Jersey, so I say it a lot too. I'll
Okay.
use like all the time. It's part of the colloquial.
Yeah. I what was I saying? I forgot what I was
Uh,
gonna say. Damn it.
you're saying, going live for 5, 6 hours Monday through Friday is beneficial for you, and then I don't know what your next thought where it was going, but
Damn it.
I feel,
I
I
lost
mean,
it.
so I don't stream a lot either. I stream like Monday through Thursday, 4 hours. I don't stream a lot, like at all. I stream like less than 20 hours a week, like not a lot.
It's so ridiculous. People don't understand because I still get comments for like, wow, a full-time streamer that only streams 30 hours a week. I'm like, bro, you come stream for 30 hours and tell me how it goes, bro. Like like when I first got serious about it, because like I still have the screenshot of when I like it said like it was an Instagram post on my personal Instagram, um that was like, you know, I made Twitch affiliate. It was like May 21st or 25th or something like that of last year. And like what I did first off was I was like, okay, so if I need to average 3 viewers, if I stream less, it's easier to get that average. So like I was streaming 2.5 hours like 4 times a week. And I stuck with that for a while. And so for a long time, especially when I was starting to grow, people are like, how are you thinking you're gonna go full time with this, but you only stream like 10 hours a week, you know? But it's like that's the thing. Everybody thinks that you just need to stream a bunch. Like literally,
Yeah.
they think it should just be like 40 hours of streaming a week and you're legit, you know? Like, just not how it works.
Yeah, full-time streamer is a misnomer because you're not going to be streaming for the same hours that it seems like should be a full-time job. You're most likely not going to hit
Yeah.
40 hour work weeks streaming.
It came back to me. So what I was gonna say is that I've watched these videos, and I wonder if I feel like whenever I bring it up, people are like, yeah, I've done that too. You ever watch like the story of Ninja or something like that, right? Where like it's a YouTube video and they go with like how they kind of came up. You know, sometimes it's like the rise and fall of so and so, but
Maybe.
it seems like the downfall of a lot of these big creators is either one, they get canceled, or two, they get too comfortable and they just don't have the same drive to keep improving, keep growing. Like they just get kind of comfortable where they're at. And if you do that, if you get comfortable where you're at, like you're not doing enough to bring new people in as much, and then you're also not doing enough to keep the audience that you have. You're not changing it up enough to where they're gonna want to stick around. Like they'll see somebody else doing something else different or new, and they'll go to them. You know, like, and that seems to be like what happens. Like you look at Ninja, and he's definitely not averaging what he used to, but like he doesn't. He's talked about it in some stuff. I've seen him say that like for him, he thinks like one of the big mistakes he made was being family friendly, like switching to family friendly. He thinks hurt him in the long term. But at the same time, I wonder because when people make fun of me for like having because I would say it's probably 50-50, if not more. Like I definitely have viewers who are like between the 13 to 18 range, you know, a lot. people make fun of me of that, like, oh, it just must be a bunch of kids over there. I'm like, bro, these kids got to grow up, you know? Like these kids are gonna become adults too, in a couple years, and like I'm looking at this in the long term. Like the expectancy of somebody in this career field is like 5 years. That's like the career life expectancy. I want to be doing this in 10 years. You know, so it's like it does. It makes me mad when people like dog on people for having younger viewers, because it's like they're just gonna grow up with that creator. Like to me, that's better than your audience all being older people that don't spend as much time on Twitch and stuff.
No, agreed. But yeah, going back to the point of like the not getting comfortable, because I think that's the most important thing. And as a variety streamer, like I really don't think I'm afraid to fail at all. I'll do stuff that I feel like people will look back, they're like, wow, that was shit. Or they'll be like, how did he think of that? But I'm so glad I did those ideas, because like maybe 1 out of 5 stick. And
Yeah.
like that's good. I'll be so proud of that content. I'm glad that I at least tried it, because the moment I get comfortable with anything, and this has been a very big motto ever since I got to college, I adopted this. I hate being comfortable. I hate it. Being comfortable is, I think, the worst thing you could do. Like the moment that you realize you're getting comfortable, kill it and just totally do something else and just try something else. And I tried to put that into streaming, and content wise, it is a bit difficult because you'll have some success with a certain area and it's very hard to let go of that. So, for example, like GeoGuessr, I'm going to kill. It's going to be completely killed very soon. I just noticed like it's starting to die out. The trend is starting to like go away a bit. I'll keep it around like a little bit, but for the most part, like, yeah, it helped so much with like the path to partner. It's grown my TikTok, but I don't want to be the GeoGuessr guy. I'm getting comfortable with that. So I want to kill it off. You'll probably never see a GeoGuessr post ever again on my TikTok account. And it's tough
Really?
to come to terms to. Yeah. I just, part of it is because I do see the numbers starting to wane a bit, but also I don't want to become the
GeoGuessr guy.
Wikipedia guy, the GeoGuessr guy.
Yeah.
I want to be the variety guy. I want people to be like, I don't know what Sam does. Like he does like a lot of stuff. I like that because I'm not going to die with my game. I want to die with me. If I die, if my content ever fails, I want that to be on me and not the game. I don't want to die with Fortnite like perhaps
Yeah.
Ninja's numbers went down. So like, and it is a slower build, because if you have a niche, it's much easier to spike and to grow within it. But I think over the long term, like you were saying, you're just going to die with the game. You get comfortable, and then as the game falls, you're going to fall. So it is, you're going to grow slower being variety and trying to do these things. But I think in the long term, because I'm also trying to do this over multiple years, I think it's going to be beneficial doing that, taking that approach.
Yeah. I think for the first couple months, I was streaming probably 90% Warzone. And when I changed it to where I would split it up, where for 2 hours I'd play Warzone, for 2 hours I'd play Valorant or something, and then just consistently doing that where I don't. And the other thing is I get bored super easy. So like if I get bored playing the game for 4 hours, everybody else is gonna be bored because I'm not having fun. I feel like that was one of the best things I did, because now I can play whatever I want. Like I've been playing GTA and averaging like 600 viewers, so
Yeah.
And that's a game that I'd never would have thought I'd be streaming, so which I would recommend it, man. I've been playing the role play, like do you know who Tony Call of Duty is? I don't know if he's popped up on yours because he plays a lot of Call of Duty. He's shying away from just playing Call of Duty.
I saw actually a couple of your podcast clips with him on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah. So yesterday we spent like 3 hours running around as a Weasel news crew. And so like something would happen and we would just like stop and be like, what happened here, sir? Talking to them. And like somebody in the background's like running somebody over or something, like it's just ridiculous. Like we went to Tony's like, let's go get some burgers. So we went to this like burger joint. It's literally called like Burger Spot. And we go in there, and then Tony just gets into this argument with the cashier because I guess he came back, or yesterday, the combo meal was like $65 and now it's 200. So he's like, "What's with this inflation?" He's like, "That's insane, bro." And then it turns out that the cashier was one of my viewers trolling us, and so we get into this argument. What? Oh, you're bringing Sammy in here? Okay. Are you going to Costco? Okay. So he's arguing with this guy at this burger place, right? And the guy like drops the food on the floor or something. So I'm like, hey, like, I don't want this anymore. It's been on the floor. We start arguing about that. And then so the manager comes out, gets all pissed off. My brother was playing with us, and she was saying, well, it's the dinner prices. And my brother's like, it's 8 o'clock in the morning because it says like 8 a.m. And so we're like, all right, we're out of here. And then this viewer comes out and he's like, I'll give you free food. So he gave us a bunch of free food. And then we're like driving around, like looking for like, because we're like listening to like the little police scanner on the side will pop up and say like shots fired at wherever. Sammy, come here. And so like it said like attempted robbery, at some place. And so like we show up because we just have a waypoint, and it's the burger place.
Oh.
And it turned out that my viewer got fired for giving us free food, so he robbed the place. so so we're like talking to him. Sammy, come here. Come here. Sorry, my wife can't. They won't let dogs in Costco anymore. So
Really?
yeah, Sammy has to stay here. And he's like super attached to my wife now because I'm always working. He's all upset she left.
He's young, right?
Yeah, he's like 4 months.
What kind of dog is he?
Dude, he's a mutt, but he's got like husky, Labrador Retriever, all kinds of weird stuff in him. He's very vocal, and I think that's the husky part of him. Come here. Come here.
Oh yeah.
Come here, Sammy. Okay, fine.
Love
Laying
the
down.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah, good prefix to throw on the name.
But yeah, no, it was funny because like I'm recording this guy that's obviously my viewer, and then Tony called the cops on him, so the cops show up, and like it's fun, man. Getting into the role play of it. I don't know if you watch. Have you seen XQC at all?
Yeah, that's how I first discovered the game. Well, I saw like a couple people like Aiden Ross were playing it and like Rice Gum, and it was like blowing up and stuff. And then
Yeah.
I ultimately I watched some XQC. I'm a big XQC fan, so I watched him play it. Like what is it, Juan Paul or something is his name that he plays under?
Yeah, I
or
think
whatever,
so.
and he's
Yeah.
got the jersey on. It's like
He just got
super
banned.
funny.
Banned from
Yeah,
the
it's like
server.
got banned from the server. Yeah, the
Dude,
no pixel server.
I was watching Summit. I didn't watch all of it because it's like, damn, it's like 1 a.m. I need to go to bed. But Summit was basically like going down the rabbit hole of trying to figure out why he got banned. So he's like watching all these clips, and like I guess Summit's really big into that too. So he's like, oh well, maybe it was this, maybe it was that. So it's crazy to see like there's all these rules to the role play. Hang on, let me grab Samuel.
Yep.
So like there's all these rules to the game too,
Yeah.
God, he's getting too big. He's getting way too big for this.
Hey Sammy. Oh, so cute.
Here. Yeah. Nope. But yeah, there's rules to like being out of character, stuff like that, So I don't know why he got banned. I think it was because he like held a cop at gunpoint when he wasn't supposed to or something. But I that led me down the rabbit hole recently of like watching XQC a lot. You went out? Here, let me let him out. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
I didn't know she was going to Costco this early. We need he chewed the cord for our vacuum cleaner, so she's going to get a new vacuum cleaner.
Oh no.
A wireless one this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, after watching XQC, like there's people who post compilations of like why like clips that got XQC famous and stuff, and seeing like just the ridiculousness of the stuff that he's done on stream makes me feel way more confident that like, because there's times where I'm like, oh, like that's kind of like I totally jumbled up my words, that's embarrassing, like I sound like I don't know how to speak or something. But no, yeah, no, he like there's been times where he's like, oh, I gotta pee, and he'll like get up and run, and you hear him like fart a couple times, like, oh no, you don't gotta pee, man, you gotta go poo.
He's so unhinged. He's hilarious, though, dude.
Yeah.
He's like a prime example. First of all, I mean, people don't realize this, dude. He streams like 16 hours a day.
Yeah, dude, that guy's on Adderall, bro. He's got to be on Adderall.
And like 6 or 7 days a week, he's streaming like 100 hours a week.
Yeah.
Like he'll play. He's the king of Twitch. And I mean that because like whatever he plays will become mainstream. I mean, obviously, like viewer wise, he's already like top 5, I'm sure, with his average viewers. But like hours put in, games he plays, he controls the meta of Twitch. He's such an interesting character to watch. Like, not only is he entertaining, but whatever he does like is going to blow up on Twitch. He's responsible for the Rust blow up. Like his clips from even like Among Us that where he was like being toxic in lobbies, that gave the game notoriety. When he's
Yeah,
griefing people, Fall Guys, that gives Fall Guys a bit of a spike. Like he's just so interesting to watch, and like he controls the meta. It's so cool
he's
having
funny,
somebody
man.
like yeah, he's really funny.
Like I saw him playing like CS:GO, and he's talking to somebody. He's like, hey, let me ask you a question. If somebody dies, like what do they do? And he's like, I don't. What do you mean? He's like what do they say if they're dead? And the guy's like, I don't, can't say anything. They're dead. And he's like, so shut up! Like stop talking when I'm trying to play. Like if you're dead, be quiet. You know. But like the way he
Yeah.
does it is so rude. But
It's
yeah,
mad
no,
entertaining. That's why he's the king.
he's unhinged, man.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
really is. He's fucking hilarious.
So I want to see.
Do you watch like Ludwig at all? Do you know who
I
that
was
is?
gonna ask you. I was like, how much are you inspired by Ludwig? Because like he does a lot of the game show stuff.
Yeah, he's definitely my number one inspiration. Like everything in terms of I definitely emulate a lot of things from him. He's to
Mm.
me the best streamer. I think he's like one of the best entertainers, period. I think he's so wildly entertaining to watch. But as far as streaming goes, like yeah, XQC is the king of Twitch technically, but content wise, I think Ludwig's really unmatched. Like
Yeah.
as variety goes, because I think there's two kinds of variety. There's like gaming variety, which is like XQC, and then there's like variety within just chatting, which I think is more Ludwig. And so
Hmm.
that's what I'm less so like gaming variety, which I think you're more like gaming variety, you would say, right? Like you'll
Yeah.
play like a ton of games. So you're kind of like an XQC perhaps, and then not to say you're like toxic in that regard or whatever, but and then I would say I'm more of like a Ludwig variety where it's not so much games, but it's like other stuff that you could do within like just chatting that could be qualified as like a game or something.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I guess what it meant was like after watching XQC, I feel like I sometimes I overthink it, like how I'm doing things on stream. Like I'm a little too, like I care a little bit too much about being serious at certain times and stuff like that. Like I definitely need to like relax more. Um,
Hmm.
so I've been trying to do that more. And then with Ludwig, I was gonna say, I think he's gonna beat Ninja for sure, man. I think he's gonna beat Ninja in subs.
I think so too. He's at like 210 or something right now.
And Mr.
210.
Beast is still talking about like just dropping them to get him past it if he needs to. So
That's
I'm pretty sure it's gonna
I
happen.
think the craziest thing about that is realizing that in order to catch up to Ninja, you have to be live for like 23 days straight. Like it's crazy what Ninja accomplished back in like 2018 when Twitch was like a fraction of what it is now.
I mean, in Ninja was just like perfect timing for everything, man. You know,
Hmm.
like everybody. I think everybody. I think even Ninja has like acknowledged that like that was his prime. You know, like that was his peak probably.
Yeah, I mean,
But
how
who
is it
knows?
not? Like that's
Who knows?
crazy.
Um, that would be a big comeback story if he took over Twitch again. I really
Right.
don't see it happening. He seems like he's just kind of, I don't want to say over it, but like he kind of just does it because like that's what he does now, you know. Like
Yeah.
I hear Harris Heller talk about how he knew Ninja before he was like, you know, the Ninja, and they would go to like some kind of tech thing or something like that, and Ninja would like he would see Ninja like coming up the elevator with all his setup and stuff. Like he just took his setup everywhere. He was just all about consistency, you
Mm.
know. And I like that's the thing that I think has been a big thing for me is just being consistent, you know.
So you've never missed a day. There's never been a day
Oh,
where you wake up and you're like,
I did a 24-hour stream on a Saturday which ended Sunday morning. And then I was like, all right, from now on, because of that, like cuz I it was supposed to be a morning stream on Monday. I don't know now because now they're afternoon, like I have a little more time to recover. But I was like, all right, I went to the Discord and I was just like, guys, I'm still recovering. I can't stream right now. Like I got up to do it and I was just like, no, it doesn't feel right. So like, yeah, dude,
Yeah.
get some rest. You know, they're like super supportive. So,
did you sleep on that or no?
no, I don't, dude. Sleep streams are something that I'm like, I'm gonna have to wait till I have a house where like I have enough room to like have a bed or something. Cause like
Can you recline? You go back?
yeah, but I mean, I don't know. That's not comfortable for me.
That's a back injury waiting to happen.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe someday.
Yeah, because I mean, I've seen you do a couple of like longer streams because you've had also like your 12-hour charity stream and then you had your 24-hour one. What was that, a
Dude,
couple months ago?
charity streams are a weird thing for me because like I don't they're probably the one thing that I'm like bad at promoting. I don't know how to promote them.
I mean, I feel like you've done pretty well with your charity streams, though. No, like, what do you mean by
That was
promoting?
my
Just
third
like
charity stream. Yeah, like just like hyping it up, you know.
oh.
Like I'm just not good at it. Like the first two
Say you'll
streams
buzz
I
the
did.
head. Say you'll buzz the head next time.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about doing that during the 24-hour stream on the 17th because like I was like I need a week to like get the Saturday that I earned to like have off, you know, because I need a little bit of a break, but because they want me to do the 24-hour stream this Saturday, and I'm just like, I just did a 12-hour stream last Saturday. Give me my Saturday, you know. So I'm doing it not this Saturday, but next Saturday I'm doing a 24-hour stream.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
That's
No, it'll be my fourth one, and I think a big key part of it is just pacing yourself with the caffeine. I did not crash anywhere near as bad as I did the last one because I paced myself with the caffeine. So,
Good.
yeah.
Well, you're big in G Fuel, but do you also drink coffee?
Dude, I drink so much coffee. Like, I basically ran off of coffee in the military, so I'm like, now that I'm out of the military, I'm like, coffee just doesn't really excite me, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Now you're taking pre-workout before stream.
this, I think towards the end of the military, I was just drinking coffee as pre-workout too. I don't like the whole itchy beta-alanine feeling that you get. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's like the heart pumping. It's very like, let's go. It's not really like for stream pre-workout.
Yeah. So I was also gonna bring up. I'm kind of all over the place. Sorry, but
No, it's good.
people have been asking me a lot lately. They're like, "Who's your inspiration?" And I'm like, "That's just to me is like a weird question because I feel like I'm inspired by a lot of people." But I've been thinking, and I think one of my biggest inspirations is The Rock. Like everybody is like, you know, I've heard so many people say like it must be tiring to be The Rock. Like that guy does so much, and I'm like, I want people to say that about me. You know, like I just do so much. Like how does he do it all? You know, like that's my goal.
Right.
And then obviously, you know, like he made the jump to like Hollywood and stuff, and he's like the highest paid actor or something like that. So, or at least was, you know. So
maybe you could start off with some WWE.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm missing. Yeah. But no, that's definitely
a good person to aspire to be. I mean, The Rock is as I think high up as it gets in terms of success. I mean, he's the guy.
Yeah, I used to work out religiously too until the pandemic, and now I'm like afraid to go back to the gym because like I went to the gym for 1 week during the pandemic, and I got viral strep throat, and I totally thought it was COVID, and it like scared the crap out of me, and like I had to like cancel streams because I was just dying, you know.
Yeah.
So like I'm afraid. I did jujitsu too, and I'm like it just doesn't sound smart to go roll around with a bunch of sweaty guys right now. Probably not the smartest idea.
Right, during COVID, yeah.
Yeah, so
I used to be a meathead as well. I was like typical Jersey, like workout 7 days a week, like chicken and broccoli, oatmeal, like all that stuff. And then pandemic hit, and I tried to get back into working out sometime in December, but then I also actually got an infection in my pinky. I got something called like MRSA. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's like basically it's like you can't heal it with like normal antibiotics. So it got pretty bad, and it came from the gym. When I went back, I guess it got in through my finger or something. Like I was holding the barbell maybe.
yeah.
And it got like pretty bad for a couple months, and I just haven't returned since. So I've just like I've been trying to become comfortable with a life without lifting because I don't know when I'm going to go back. Because for years, I mean, literally for probably 10 years straight, gym. And then just this past year has been such an anomaly. I think that's maybe why I started streaming, to like fill the void, because I would spend so much time thinking about the gym and working out and eating healthy and cutting and doing all this stuff. And now like I have all this free time that's come, so it's kind of felt natural to put that energy elsewhere. I was thinking about that the other day. I really think like one of the main reasons I've been streaming is because I have to put this energy that would have gone to working out somewhere else.
Yeah, no, I think once everything kind of goes back to normal, I think it's gonna be like 3 times a week lifting and then 2 times a week jujitsu. It's probably what I'm gonna do. I miss jujitsu so much, man. It gave me a good like. There's no other stress relief like choking somebody out, you know. So that's something I miss a lot. Joe Rogan is definitely one of my inspirations too. It's like he got me into jujitsu. I've kind of met him a few times. like it stand like he almost kicked my wife in the face at a stand up one time at a comedy club.
Were you front row or something? Or
Yeah,
you just...
somebody was like, we were a couple seats away from the stage, and this couple showed up, and the wife was like paranoid. She's like, I don't want to sit right in front of him. He's gonna make fun of me. And so I was like, hey, can we sit there? And they're like, yeah. And so like the whole time, like he's like telling his jokes and like looking down and making eye contact. I'm like, this is so weird, dude. Like this is like one of my inspirations, you know? He's like right there in front of me. And then he was telling a joke right before everything shut down.
Okay.
Yeah, I was at the laugh. No, not the Laugh House. I don't know.
Comedy
There's a
club?
ton of. It wasn't the Comedy Store because I've been there. I've seen him there a few times. I can't remember. I think it was like the Improv or something. I don't know. But yeah, no, there's definitely, I feel like something's missing, not working out. Like it bothers me how comfortable I've gotten not lifting and stuff, you know.
Oh wait, I want to hear the end of the Joe Rogan almost kicking.
Oh, so he was telling a joke and he did like this kick, but kind of like stumbled a little bit, and when he stumbled forward and kicked, like his foot was literally like this. And he was like,
Wow.
like you could tell he's like,
dude.
But like, yeah.
Is he animated on stage? Like I've
Oh,
watched a couple
yeah.
of his stand-ups on like
Yeah.
Netflix, but I never like really saw it in person. But is he like moving around? He's
Oh, yeah.
an animated guy.
He'll like hop up on his chair and stuff. Like he's like all yeah.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, I'm sure. How about the podcast? Did you get like any inspiration for?
Yeah,
the
so
podcast run?
my podcast is kind of inspired by Joe Rogan and PKA. I don't know if you've ever seen PKA. A lot of people haven't seen that one. That one, have you ever heard of FPS Russia?
No.
So he was this guy. A lot of it's he's kind of older. Like he kind of like stopped like right when I got into YouTube and stuff. But his thing was I thought he was Russian. He was just this guy in like Georgia who faked a Russian accent and just blew stuff up. And it got to the point where like he was in like a Black Ops 2 commercial and like movie cameos and all this stuff. And then the guy who was getting him all, like the guy that he worked with to get all these guns that like are super hard to get, like fully automatics and foreign stuff, got murdered. So he stopped, kind of like stopped doing these videos. And then he recently went to prison because he had like marijuana on him or something. So he went to prison for a couple months, and that kind of blew up for the podcast. So I started watching that. And it's this like webcam style of, like they usually have like, you know, 3 people. Sometimes there's a guest. So I've been kind of toying with the idea. When I started, I had a like a co-host, but like he has anxiety and stuff, and so like with everything coming back to normal, like going to work and stuff, he kind of stepped away. And then now he's got a girlfriend, so like I don't even hear from him anymore. I think this guy's just kind of like doing his own thing. But yeah. So I definitely want to like get some more episodes in where there's like 2 people on or something, because I like that. It's definitely more work, but
oh, sorry.
No, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, are you eventually planning on bringing people in person? Do you want
in
to go to,
person?
like, a studio? Yeah.
If I got big enough, I guess, you know, like if I could have like my own little like compound, like Nick Merckx or something, like yeah, that would be cool. But I haven't really thought about it, you know.
Yeah.
So
like a place you could stream,
sit down,
plus act as like
yeah.
I mean,
most of my thought has been YouTube right now, and then my goal by the end of this year is to like be doing some acting stuff, no matter what the size of it is, you know.
Yeah.
So I gotta call him and be like, hey, so my name's not really Danny Dorito. I don't really want my picture and real name on your website. Is there something we can do? You know.
I'm sure they could, because you'll see like certain people always use their stage names like in the credits and stuff. So I think that's possible. Also, it's like beneficial to them because the audience will come over if they see Danny Dorito. If they see like your real name, they'll be like, "Who's this?" But if they associate it with your actual name that you brand yourself with, then that's more people that will watch their stuff. So it's good for them. It's good for everyone.
Yeah.
So I imagine they would do that.
I know someday my real name's gonna come out. Everybody wants to know Little Man's name. But I'm like, I don't feel comfortable giving his name out until he can at least say Stranger Danger, like understand that concept, you know. Because like I watched like Roman Atwood go through his whole thing where like somebody was calling all his kids' schools just knowing his first
Yeah,
name.
that's terrible, man. That stuff.
So
People online, they're
scares
so
me.
weird. It's smart that you're kind of like concealing some of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's been times where, like way early on, somebody was asking like, how do you get this discount on G Fuel? And so like I was like, oh, I use Honey. You know, this is before I had code Danny D. So I pulled up Honey and I didn't know that clicking like the thing would like log me in. And so like I'm sitting there like explaining this and that, and my address is just chilling on the side, like right here, like everything.
Doxed yourself?
Yeah, I doxed myself, but there was only like 30 viewers and like nothing ever came of it. There was just one guy in the chat who was obviously lurking, who said he was gonna come rape my girlfriend. But other than that, I keep telling this story because like everybody in the chat was like, "What is going on? Who are you talking to?" Because they can't see it because of the auto mod. But I was like, he kept spamming it, and I was like, "Bro, if you come here, I'm shooting your dick off, bro." Like, I was like straight up, and it was like, "Whoa,
man,
Daddy," you know.
I'm just kidding.
I was like, "You know who you are." But
yeah, doxing yourself's crazy. Self-doxing yourself, but yeah, I guess if you do it now, that would be a big issue. But if it was back then 30 and you deleted the VOD,
paranoid now, yeah.
Yeah.
Like even just like
incognito.
My personal email has like my last name in it, so like I'm always like clicking Windows and like making sure it's not there, you know, before I go to like display capture. So yeah, I'm definitely better about it now, but
I do think eventually though it's probably.
So I did this in LA and then I did it here. I've talked to like the police department, sheriff's department here, and like they know that I'm a streamer. Like I filed a report saying like I've been threatened, and so like if somebody were to try and swat me, the idea is that they would hopefully, because of that, the prior knowledge, they would send over like 2 police officers instead of a SWAT team. You know, like, hey, can we look around, instead of like open up, you know, like knocking the door down. So
right. That's smart. You gotta protect yourself. There's been bad situations with
people have gotten shot.
People have died, right?
Yeah, people have gotten shot. Like it's no joke.
And now there's a heavy penalty to dox. It used to be like, you know,
yeah,
maybe
now
like 5
now it's
years.
a crime.
Now it's like lifetime or something crazy. Because yeah, you could be responsible for the death of somebody. If you're a SWAT team and you get these calls, I mean, of course you're gonna react accordingly.
Yeah, because they tell them you got somebody like held hostage and like bombs or something. Like, yeah, they're gonna be heightened up, you know.
Yeah.
So.
No, for sure.
Yeah, it's no joke.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I know eventually they're gonna find out, you know. So I'm just trying to put it off as long as I can. So.
Yeah, I put it out super early. A lot of people think my last name's Bucha. It's not. I mean, that'd be like a pretty fire last name, but it's not. But I used to like. I think like when I first started, I would like link my personal Instagram. Like my name's out there. I don't even care at this point. It's like whatever, because I don't see what people are gonna do with it. I plan on eventually pivoting from finance anyway and getting out of that like serious industry. So I don't care too much if my name's out there. I don't have too much to hide. Like, yeah, I want the security of like family members. And if I do get like big, I would like some privacy to an extent, but I'm not out here like marketing my name anyway. So if people do want to find me, it's not easy, but there's going to be people who do it. And so I've just come to terms with that. I don't really care at this point. I don't have too much out there anyway. The stuff that is out there, it's like, you know, you could find maybe, because I move around a lot as well, so all addresses like probably just they're obsolete at this point. There's really nothing that I think people could like get from me, so I don't care too much about that. I don't try to maintain anonymity in any way.
Yeah, people on the internet are scary though, man. Like when I addressed the whole like little man's name thing, because everybody wanted me to tell them, like they just kept saying like, what's his name, tell us his name. And like I did the TikTok, I was like, look, we just think it's better if like, you know, right now at this time we don't like reveal his information, because he doesn't know what TikTok is. It's not fair to him. Like that's his privacy, you know. And somebody posted a TikTok. They had like found my wife's Facebook, which wasn't even like her name. Like she had like changed it so it was just like her middle name and something else. And like they couldn't access it, but they could see the pictures, the profile pictures. So they just posted a TikTok of all these profile pictures of like her and little man, and I was just like, dude, this is like, you know. And like I think one of them or something like that had like a sign or something from like, you know, photos they took for Christmas or something, and it says his name. So people were like commenting his name a bunch, and like I kind of just like deleted them and kind of ignored it and it went away. But every once in a while, there's still somebody who comes into the Twitch chat and tries to say like names and stuff, but
Hmm.
it's all automated.
I wonder who these people are. Like, I always wonder these things. Like,
Degenerates.
what are they actually doing? Like, do they just sit and they just try to like they sit on their computer and try to just start issues with streamers and people? Like, I don't get the motive behind this stuff. It's fascinating to me because it's a very new age thing. But people just like genuine trolls, not like funny trolls where like some stuff you'll you'll fuck with if it's funny
Yeah,
or whatever. But like this is like serious
yeah. There's a
people
line.
are like, yeah. I don't get how that happens in somebody's head, how they get to that point where they think that that's cool or funny. It's like it's
So
weird.
people
Weird
will
people
come
doing it.
in and say stuff, and like my viewers will get super defensive. They'll be like, "Come on, man! Like, get out of here! F you!" This. I'm like, "Hey, you know, like, don't start doing it back." But like, you guys have. I always tell them, like, you have to understand that Joe Smo, whoever it is probably like not really happy with his life or not in a good mental headspace, and so he's taking it out on us, you know, or on me. So like, you know, just sorry, dude. Like, I feel bad for you, you know, but bye.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, you know, that's literally all it is. Just people like, you know, that if somebody like me or you who's like busy trying to do something with their life, you know, or feels like they have a purpose or something to pursue, it's not wasting time going into chats and spamming the N word and stuff, you know, to try and
Yeah.
like piss you off. It's just not happening. So you know they got something going on that
They have to, yeah.
makes them unhappy.
Right. Do you watch a lot of Twitch? Like, do you try and take ideas from streamers you watch, or like, are you do you have any like idea generation that comes when you watch, or do you watch for fun? Are you on Twitch a lot other than streaming?
So as far as the Twitch streaming goes, I've tried really hard to just kind of like just be me. Like, you know, if somebody comes in and starts like asking questions about, you know, like they were like, did you watch the Snyder Cut? And it's like, well, I could talk about movies and TV for days. Like that's my shit. That's like what I like to do when I'm taking a break is like sit down and watch a movie with the family or with the wife, you know, or like we're, you know, watching a show, so I'll talk about that. Um, that's why I'm like I don't care if they don't get as much views, but I like doing like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 3 review, you know, because there's like a little niche of people who like those videos on my TikTok. Um, but yeah, like somebody will like we'll be talking about G Fuel or something, and then somebody will come in and be like, "Hey, did you watch the Snyder Cut?" And I'll just go off talking about it with this one person, and like people are like, "What is he talking about?" You know. So, but yeah, no, I try really hard to just kind of be me when I'm streaming. Um, I might get like some ideas here for certain stuff, but I always kind of like feel weird, to me it would be out of my character to like try and do Jeopardy or something. Like it feels like I'm forcing something too much, and to me it's like if I'm forcing something, then you know, forcing yourself to be something or do something that you're not really into is only going to hurt you in the long term. Because if people like you for something that you're not really into, then you're just going to hate it. Like Ninja, you know, saying that he hates being family friendly because he's a very loud like F you kid, you know, type of thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Has there ever been an idea of a stream you wanted to do that you just ultimately decided not to do because it wasn't within kind of like the general vicinity of the content that you typically do? Maybe not like a game show or anything like that, but maybe something, I don't know, just totally separate from gaming. Like, have you ever wanted to do like a just chatting type format where you're doing something like,
I've kind of done all
I
kinds of
can't even,
stuff. Like there's like during my last 24-hour stream we watched UFC for like 5 hours. Like I literally just watched it and like they chatted with me.
wait,
Like well
how are you able to watch UFC?
I didn't watch it on stream. That's the thing is like they're watching it either by
Oh,
themselves or they're just like in the chat like asking how do I watch it, you know? Like why don't you
yeah,
it's
yeah,
funny people come in like show the game, show this, show that. I'm like I can't, dude. Like
yeah.
sorry. Um but yeah, the fact that many people would just hang out like still boggles me. It's humbling. Until I just got pissed off at this hockey season because I'm into hockey. I was watching like my team, the Pittsburgh Penguins, play. Like anytime they played, I would like even if it was like during like towards the end of my stream, I would just keep streaming and like watching the game, and people would just chat. Um,
Hmm.
and so like for a while, it felt like a lot of people came in that were like hockey fans. That was cool too. It was like a different group of people. But this hockey season is so screwed up because of COVID. They have like them stuck in these divisions, so they don't mingle with the other teams too much. So like if one team gets sick, it's not the whole league that's at risk.
Yeah.
So it's boring watching them play the same 7 teams 8 times. You know, just over
Do you
it.
think sports are dying?
No, I don't think so. I think there's even more hype around it right now because it's like all anybody wants to do is go to a real game.
I think they're dying, man.
You think so?
I look at like high school participation rates is the big thing I look
Oh,
at.
okay.
So, and yeah, it's a little skewed because during COVID, people clearly aren't going to be playing as much because they're not physically there. They can't physically play certain sports, right? But even going back to 2018, and this is an argument I have a lot with friends and stuff, but we always look at the data starting at 2018 when things were normal, and like the participation rates in baseball are like a third. Football is going down. And yeah, maybe it's because like CTE, people are nervous about football, but those are going down. The only sport that's maybe going up, I think, was like lacrosse or something. But otherwise, overall, sports are down. They're down by like 10% from 2018. And then, like, even if you look at things like market caps for major sports teams, they've been essentially flat for like 5 years. And people are still getting max contracts, but base contracts for a lot of the smaller players haven't gone up with inflation either. So it's been very stagnant, I feel, the sports industry. There is good garnered hype around certain sports, and I think that's justified because we've been inside for so long. But I just don't think, especially with the rise of other sports like combat sports, right? I just don't think the top 4 sports in the US are going to have the same sort of demand that they've had over the past couple of years. I do think it's waning and it's going to go down a bit.
I
And
haven't
I
really
think
thought about it like
Twitch, by
that.
the way, and streaming is killing it because a lot of
Yeah.
people, they see that people can make careers out of just staying inside and gaming or doing stuff like this. And they're less inclined to, like, why would I go out and join a baseball team if I could spend my time potentially growing a content career?
Yeah. Well, I definitely think that especially cuz I've had some younger guests on who are like towards the end of high school and they're like doing decent on Twitch and stuff. I'm like talking to them about how like like do your friends make fun of you, do this and that, and a lot of them have said like it seems like everybody in high school feels like they have to be like a varsity athlete to be popular, or at least used to, and like now it doesn't seem like that anymore. It seems like people are more like the nerds are kind of starting to
Having their moment.
take over a little bit. Yeah. So that's interesting to see, but I haven't really I guess the only thing I was thinking about when you said sports was I was thinking about like the NFL and NBA and stuff like that. Like I don't see that going anywhere anytime soon. But yeah, I mean I guess I could see how a lot of people aren't just into like
playing
physical
as much.
activity as much, but I definitely think martial arts is growing because like there's when I was going to jiu-jitsu, like there was a huge wave, and I feel like COVID probably messed with that a lot, but there was like a huge wave of people that like have literally never played a sport before that were like, yeah, I'll come, get choked out, like I want to defend myself. I definitely think like the whole like stand up to bullying thing has a lot to do with that. I think like a lot of people have kind of been encouraged like, hey, if you're getting bullied, like go take karate or something, like don't let it happen anymore. So yeah, maybe martial arts and Twitch are like the two things that are gonna in like 50 years that's all anybody ever is gonna care about. I don't know about Twitch. I don't know if honestly I was gonna ask you about the whole Twitch YouTube thing. I have some theories that maybe Twitch is like doing the least that they can right now because they know that as soon as YouTube really steps up their game, like they're gonna have to like show some cards, that I heard they're working on 4K streaming, more discoverability stuff. I mean, you've seen them like do where with channel points you can get put on like a recommended thing on the front page for a little while, stuff like that. So because like YouTube the DMCA thing on YouTube is like Twitch definitely needs to do something soon, because now when you upload a video on YouTube, it does like a little check thing and shows you whether there might be an issue or not. So like it's just the transparency on YouTube when it comes to the DMCA stuff is like levels above what Twitch is doing right now. And I kind of got into serious about Twitch before or like after the whole DMCA thing kind of started. So like I talk to my wife sometimes and I'm like, I wonder what it would be like to be able to just listen to whatever I want and not like Harris Heller's stream beats and like other stuff, all the time. But
Hmm.
We'll see what happens.
You're right. It's a big issue, the DMCA stuff. I mean, I just don't get why a mega company like Amazon isn't throwing more money behind this. I get that they're losing money ultimately on Twitch, which, by the way, I have no idea how. It seems like Twitch is just rising and rising. I don't know where they're losing money. Maybe they need to take more of the Prime or something. But I have no idea why Amazon isn't investing more in to compete ultimately with Google or YouTube, because it's the future in a lot of ways, like live streaming. I think a lot of people acknowledge that. Like a lot of forms of entertainment are moving towards the live stream, and YouTube and Twitch are the top of the game right now. So like why wouldn't you double down while you're on top? Throw some more money at it. You have a ton, right? You're sitting on hundreds of billions in cash. Throw a little bit to, sort out an algorithm that could help with DMCA. I don't get the decision making at the top, how they don't realize the growth potential. Yeah, it's still small. It's just something on their balance sheet. It doesn't even mean anything to Amazon, but it could be something to them in the
Yeah.
future. It could be something very big. So a company with the foresight like Amazon, how are you not doubling down? It's not even expensive to do these things, by the way. Like companies can easily figure out how to create like a DMCA friendly algorithm. Like how do
Yeah.
you not do these things and implement it? So it is like, I think that, call it a conspiracy, how they might succumb to YouTube eventually. That's probably, it's founded in a good amount of truth, I think.
So I don't know if they're gonna succumb. Is that what you said? To YouTube. I think that they're being lazy while they can. If you ask me, because the thing that YouTube doesn't have is the community that Twitch has. People don't
Mm.
go to YouTube to watch people stream as much as they do. Twitch is, that's all it is. So it's like, and even TikTok. I don't know if you've been paying attention to that, but there's been rumors that they might like kind of get into the whole streaming thing. Like they might allow you to just like show, like to have like a. I mean, you can do lives on your computer now, so it's like, will they turn on to where like you can like stream a game? Like that'd
You
be crazy.
could. So there's a streamer. Her name is Hannah XX Rose. She's a Minecraft streamer.
Mhm.
Um, and I follow her. And I was in her live the other day, and she was streaming on Tik. She was streaming simultaneously. I don't know if I should even say this. She might get in trouble for it because I know you can't. But she was streaming simultaneously on Twitch and TikTok. And TikTok was,
Is
you
she a
like watch
partner?
her Minecraft gameplay. Yeah, she's pretty big in the
How
Minecraft
how
community.
how
She's
long has
like
she
the
been a
dream
partner though?
MVP.
Because after 2 years, it doesn't matter.
Might be 2 years now or
Yeah.
something. She's pretty big. She's like been established for a while now. But
Okay.
it was the first time that I was scrolling and I saw a TikTok live where it looked like I was on Twitch. It was literally like her webcam, the same webcam setup that she would use on Twitch, and then the gameplay just vertical instead of obviously the typical 1080 format. And it's like you could just be in there instead of on Twitch. And she linked her Twitch. There was like a little like nice little animation if you wanted to go to Twitch, but it felt like you were watching a Twitch stream. So I don't know if she's just rebroadcasting via OBS to multiple sources,
Yeah.
but I've never seen that before. And I got scared. I'm like, shit, I have to do that now. Like, if I see somebody else doing that, that might be where this is kind of going, TikTok.
I don't think so.
So I looked into it, but then I was like, I got a little scared because it said that you can't like rebroadcast streams.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to mess with it, especially at this early point and where I'm at. It wasn't worth it for me.
I
But I
think
did notice that. So it's funny you mention it.
Yeah, I think even if it became a thing, I don't think it would do well. People just don't come to TikTok for that long form type of content.
Yeah, that's
So,
fair. But it
but
might
like,
be better with funneling people to Twitch, because a lot of the times, like a big comment I get on my live is like, "Why aren't you looking at chat? Why aren't you looking at TikTok chat?" And I'm like, "Well, the goal of this is for you guys to pick up that I'm
yeah,
streaming to ultimately come to Twitch." So like every 10 minutes or so, I'll be like, "Hey, I'm live on Twitch, whatever."
yeah. I think it's
But
I think it's funny. Like in the Twitch chat, someone would be like, look at your TikTok chat," And I'm
yeah,
just like, bro, hey, come over to the Twitch. Like that's all I do. Like, you want to chat, come over to the Twitch. Like I'll even be straight up, be like, look, this is just so that people who didn't get my notification know that I'm streaming, or people realize that I'm streaming right now that haven't checked it out yet. And not only that, it seems like it's proven that lives help your videos on TikTok get views. So that's why I'm doing it. And then I go right back to doing it. Because like sometimes people get pissed off. I'll get comments and people are like, he doesn't even pay attention to his TikTok live. And I'm like, and like I've thought about making a video. I'm like, what do you like? Like I literally look over the TikTok live and it's just like, hi, notice me, make some G Fuel. Where's little man? Like that's all it is. And like it doesn't
yeah.
matter how many times I answer it, they're still gonna keep saying the same things. Like once I hit 1
You should
million, I
make
was
a
like,
video on that.
yeah, I know I should. I was like, as soon as I hit like a million, I was like, TikTok lives just it's either super toxic on there or it's just people spamming the exact same thing a million times. I don't even waste my time on it anymore.
Yeah, you're right. How many times can you answer the same comment that just comes through? Like, hi, no, yeah, like you said, those comments are so repetitive, and it's like, what am I even gonna say to all? Like, you're constantly, someone will come in like every 1 minute, or I'm sure with yours, like you have people like literally constantly asking the same questions. Like, what do they want from you? To just sit there for an hour and just say the same responses like
Mm.
1,000 times? It's
Yeah.
impossible. Like,
Once it got like that, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore.
yeah. TikTok is not really like practical. I feel like the population, like they just, a lot of them on there just like don't get it. And I get a lot of them are younger, so perhaps that's why, but there comes a point like you just got to realize like, come on, I'm not going to sit on this live and just literally answer every single question that comes through. If you want to have a more personalized experience, come to Twitch. Like that's what this is all
Yeah.
for,
Can you hear
or
Sammy
YouTube.
right now? Could you hear him? He was like
No, I
howling.
can't. The husky
uh,
man.
yeah. Yeah. No, TikTok is weird because I always tell people because they're like, have you ever had somebody come in and go, "Wow, dude, you have this many TikTok followers, but you only have this many viewers on Twitch?"
Um,
I've had that happen several times.
wait, but how? Because you have like one of the best, I think, transferability numbers I've seen in terms of getting like TikTok to Twitch.
Yeah, but I've like people will come in and be like, "Dude, you have 2 million followers, but you only have 600 people watching." Like,
Oh, they mean like
yeah,
live. Oh. People
yeah,
then just don't know Twitch. That's a lot of
yeah.
Twitch.
But
600 is crazy.
I'm like, dude, you don't understand. Like, TikTok is literally like people swiping. Like, they see something, they look at it for like maybe a minute tops, and then they keep going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just that is the attention span of the people that spend a lot of time on TikTok. For them to come over to Twitch and like chill there for 6 hours is just not reasonable. And so I noticed that my Twitch is like I have 600 viewers, but it is like 25,000 people coming in, chilling for like 20-30 minutes, saying hi, asking a
Hmm.
question, and then they bounce. They say, "All right, well, I'll see you later," or they'll ask about a TikTok or something. But obviously that percentage of people who legit like Twitch and like spend the whole time in the stream is growing, and that's that's obvious what everybody wants too.
Right.
So it's interesting to see. The thing that really boggles my mind is when people come in and are like, "Hey, this is my first time on Twitch. I just downloaded it just to come check it out." And I'm like, "Welcome to Twitch, man. I'm honored. Like you downloaded a whole nother app just to come check out
Yeah.
my stream. Like that I can't thank you enough. That's insane
Right.
to go
That's
out
a
of your
good
way that
feeling.
much. Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah. No, that's incredible. But yeah, I mean, Twitch, it's like if you have 600 people for long form content consistently. So yeah, like you said, over the course of a stream, you'll have like 25,000 who come in, but have maintaining six, think about 600 people, 600 human
yeah,
beings just sitting watching you on average at all times, long form content. Like you said, not like a minute of like, okay, cool, swipe. Like they're in there, they're trying to communicate with you. They're donating, subbing, they're really interacting with the stream. That's a lot of people to keep on a live stream. I don't think TikTok appreciates like what Twitch is. That's why I'm saying like they're kind of TikTok is just it's the population on TikTok just isn't the same that's on Twitch. They're just two different kinds of viewers. And those who do cross over get it, but in general like the ones in the live who are like, "Oh, well, how do you only have 600 people in here?" It's like, dude, if you knew the world of Twitch, you would be like, "Whoa, you have 600 people in here." You wouldn't be like you wouldn't give those comments. So,
yeah. You
that's
get
just TikTok being TikTok, man. They're just
like you go look at Twitch tracker and it says like top 0.04% or something. Like that's it. It's weird to think that there's 99% of Twitch streaming to less than 15 viewers.
is that the stat? 99. Wow. I mean, it makes sense. It's tough to get that many people like
Yeah,
just watching you. It's
yeah.
tough. It's tough. I mean, people have been streaming, even like the biggest streamers have been going for like 8 years to get to ultimately where
And
they are.
that's what I keep telling people because people are like, "You really think you're going to be doing this in a couple years?" And I'm like, "Dude, like I don't think you realize that like there was like a huge generation of like YouTubers who started Twitch streaming and now they Like they're some of the biggest people. I think there's definitely
Mhm.
going to be a generation out of the pandemic from like TikTok and just the pandemic in general that are going to like kind of take over as people start to stop. You know, I mean, Tim the Tatman has talked about maybe retiring in a couple years and stuff like that. Because I mean, these guys have made so much money; they're set.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, literally
Mhm.
just throw a couple $1 million into some stocks and just live off the dividends. Like,
Yeah, legit. It's a
yeah,
formality for them to turn on stream at this point. It's just because, like you said, like what Ninja does, it's just what he does. So that's why
yeah.
he's doing it. I'm sure he's not
His
streaming so
streams
he
do
can
not.
maintain his
I go
his
into his
money.
streams and it almost makes me like it's depressing. It's just not the
You ever
same.
see those edits of him? Like they'll try and put sad music over it, and it's like him, and there's like some clips where it looks like he's like cracked out or something. It's probably because he's like hung over in a clip, but like they use it to kind of show that it
Yeah,
just doesn't hit the same, which is sad to see. It's like somebody who was on top. It's just has fallen in
yeah,
a lot of ways.
yeah. I just think, like I said, a lot of people just they lose that drive and then they get comfortable, you know, or they get canceled. It's a lot of times what happens, and it's I mean it's inevitable. It happens to everybody. Everybody's gonna have their peak, you know. But
Mhm.
and I think when somebody has a big peak like he did, obviously people are gonna pay more attention to his like slow demise. You know, that's just how it is. And then like I saw Nick Merckx talking about the other day because there was I think FaZe Swag got accused of cheating because his controller had a light on it or something like that. And Nick Merckx was like, "You guys don't realize that for us, like the bigger we get, it's like the more people want to see us like they're more entertained by seeing somebody fall. You know,
Mm, right.
like like people love to see somebody. They like a good come up story, but they even more they like the drama of somebody getting canceled or failing and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, scary man.
Have you are you like aware of the Minecraft streamers who are so big with like the 150,000 concurrents? Like, do you know
Mm.
like how crazy like that world is?
Yeah, I just can't get into that game.
It
It's not
blows
for
my
me.
mind that there's like people out there like Nick Merckx, Tim the Tatman, like even like the recent heads like Ludwig XQC, who we think in general are like kings of Twitch and like they have these crazy numbers, and then like Tommy Innit goes live and he literally has 250,000 concurrent viewers and he's playing
Yeah,
Minecraft. It like blows my mind how there's like different worlds on Twitch, and a lot of people will have no idea who Tommy Innit is, but he's the biggest streamer by far as far as concurrent viewers go. But
yeah.
like people just won't. That's why like Twitch is so massive and vast. I don't know if you've ever seen. There's this one like map. They map the Twitch universe. Have you ever seen that?
I think so. Yeah,
And it shows like bubble size of like kind of goes by average
yeah.
viewers, and it lumps them in different categories.
Yeah, what I think is interesting is that it seems like there's I mean, obviously the more viewers you have, the more subs and bits and all that stuff you're gonna get, you know. But there doesn't seem to be like a direct correlation between how many viewers you have and how much money you make. Like there's people who have viewers that just don't spend money, you know.
Right.
It's a thing.
And then there's some
So
people on the contrary, like they'll have very few viewers, but then I'll see like they'll
very
have their
generous,
sub
yeah.
goals or something. I'm like, holy shit. You would think
Yeah.
they'd have like 5,000 viewers based on their subs.
So I've felt kind of weird about the sub goal thing. Like I have a sub and bit goal and it I felt kind of scummy about it at first, but like people like it's like just another thing for people to do. They'll like focus on the fact that hey, we're gonna hit this goal soon, and somebody will drop 5 subs, you know,
Yeah.
and then you just raise it, and then like there's literally people who will come in and be like, I just wanted to see it, you hit the goal again, you know, like I'm like okay, cool, see it, and then it's just it's weird, man. Um,
There's some good psychology behind that, like to want to
yeah,
accomplish something. And yeah, it's good for involvement and engagement. So yeah, for sure.
yeah, I always tell people whenever somebody comes in and drops like 100 subs or like a crazy amount of bits, I'm like, dude, it just makes me want to like as soon as the stream's over, go work my ass off even harder because I don't feel worthy of it, you know. Like
Hmm.
I feel like I should justify it, you know. So it's weird,
Well,
and
I would
it's
say, I
it's
mean,
it's ups and downs, man. There's ebbs and flows for sure.
oh yeah. I mean,
So
dude, you're as far as I could tell, you're like very deserving of everything that's come to you. I can't think of somebody else that's like as deserving. You put in the work and it's good work, it's good content. So I mean,
thanks,
if
man.
somebody does drop 100 gifts here and there, that's all you, man. You've worked for that. You've gotten here and you're only on the come up. I think this is really early stage for you. I was thinking the other
Think
day,
so?
dude, like I'm gonna look back at that Jeopardy video. I'm gonna be like, holy shit, we that's gonna be some massive powerhouses in that video. A couple years ago, I'm gonna look back and be like, wow, that's a crazy video. I know. I'm gonna be like, damn, we had Danny in there. Shit.
I don't know,
And even
man.
myself, I
It's,
got the confidence. I'll be like, I'll be there too. And then everyone else in that video's got their own little
you
followings
know,
too.
and then
So
I had a friend that I grew up with who's also a streamer, and if he's listening to this, no hard feelings at all, man. But like there was something he said. I think he got a little pissed off because it's hard. It's not easy to grow on Twitch. It is a lot of work, and it can be frustrating, especially at the beginning, seeing people grow and you're trying and you're not seeing the same things happen. But I mean, everybody has to find their own way. Like you can't force something is a big thing. You know, you got to find your own way of doing things. You got to showcase you. Don't try to be somebody else. Um, and he was like, "You don't care about the little guy." And I was just like, "What, dude? Like I'm over like I try really hard to like care more about. I mean, really, it is. It's just like if I see you working your ass off too, and I love your personality, I want to play games with you. I want to be your friend. You know what I mean? Like it's more about you and your personality and like seeing the same kind of like drive that I have that makes me feel like, hey, this person is cool. Like I can relate to that, you know? So,
yeah,
I mean, I've had people on the podcast where like people are like, I've never heard of that guy, and I'm like, well, like Ben Jammins. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's a big Call of Duty guy. He's probably
a
got
lot of people
more.
have thrown. He's the shorts guy, right? His YouTube Shorts account
Oh
blew
yeah,
up.
yeah. He got known for that too, but he is the guy that basically he probably has more kills in Warzone with vehicles than he does with guns. Like he just runs people over all the time. Um, and I think I had him on when he was averaging like 10 to 15 viewers or something. And now he's on Team Elevate with me, and like he's killing it. Like he's been debating whether he should apply for partner or not because like YouTube has kind of had its ebbs and flows as well.
Mhm.
It sounds like YouTube isn't doing as well as it was like a month ago for
Right.
people. But no, like
Why
I
wouldn't
told
he apply for partner? You said he's debating it.
he doesn't want to lock himself in for 2 years, you know.
Mm.
Um, but what I was gonna say is that I from the beginning like I saw like how much he put effort into his stuff and like how much he tries to really like showcase his personality and stuff, and I was like, dude, this guy's gonna kill it, man. It's only a matter of time, you know.
Yeah.
So that to me is like it doesn't matter what size you are or anything like that. I just if you're upset because like I don't talk to you and stuff like that, it's because like either I see you like copying people trying to like force growth, or it just I don't know. Being genuine goes a long way, you know? The big
Yeah.
thing. So I'm not
Well, it's
going
funny.
anywhere, man. We're still gonna I would like to say that we'll stay in touch and stuff. I would love to be on Jeopardy again. I had a blast. So
Yeah, I gotta. So I'm working. I mean, dude, last time I don't know if you saw like the format on my end, like the what I had going, but it was really everywhere. So I actually have a guy who's like a OBS god, and he's putting together a scene for me that I'm gonna use for more of these game shows.
hmm,
So I think next week or in 2 weeks, I plan on having another sort of game show. So I mean, I'll certainly reach out for you. I mean, you are top of mind if you want to be a guest again, even
hell
though
yeah,
you
dude.
lost. But we'll
Hey,
we'll bring
that
you back
that
for the
dude,
redemption arc, man.
I don't know anything about coding, all right? They got lucky.
Wait, dude. The funniest thing is that I'm not even sure if that was the right answer. I don't know if I told you this. No. Listen. Let me explain before you get up in arms,
I
right?
got screwed, bro.
So I stand by what the right answer was, but I got it off of like Wikipedia, and it was very just half-assed, half-baked because I didn't
Uh
plan on doing a Final Jeopardy. So the question I got, I just sort of like put together last second. So I'm not even positive that that's true. Everything that I had said about
yeah.
HTML, whatever the answer was. So I went off literally a single Wikipedia
Yeah, I
article
think
because
it
I
was
went to,
Java.
or yeah, it was
Yeah.
Java was the answer. Like I almost I don't want to say it because I don't want people to get upset, but I ended up saying it the other day on the Twitch stream. I was like, I don't know if that was the right answer, so it's out there now. But my bad, dude. In case it
It's
was
all
wrong,
good.
my bad. But
I
I mean,
honestly,
it,
I
it
had
was just
fun.
like
That's
a
all that
fun little
matters,
thing
man.
anyway,
It
right?
wasn't about winning. It was just about having a good time, and I had a good time. So
Yeah. No, it was definitely fun. I mean, that was the first time I actually hosted like a game show like that. It
yeah,
was actually the only time I hosted a game show like that. I host things, but game show wise, that was the only time I've ever done that.
yeah. No, I was. I'm gonna be honest, man. I was nervous because I watched people do like streams like that where they have like a show on, and like it's way more serious, or like the people just like make fun of each other like hard about like getting a really easy answer wrong, but like no, the vibes were perfect, man. It was great. It seemed like everybody was having fun. Nobody was like, "Oh, you're stupid. Why didn't you?" You know, that's a super easy question. You know, so
I think it comes down to the crew that you're with. We had like
yeah,
good people with us. Also, yeah, I didn't want to make it super serious. There's no point in like, what's the point of making it serious or dogging people for getting wrong answers? Nobody actually gives a shit.
yeah,
So, Chad enjoyed it too. There was good feedback. So, yeah,
yeah,
I'm definitely down to run it back.
yeah.
And
I'll be
let's
honest. I
last
didn't I
year's.
didn't say too much to my community because I didn't know how it was gonna go. I was like, I don't want them to come over and then just see me like sound stupid, not knowing stuff. You know, like I didn't know what to expect. So
Yeah.
next time, yeah, just give me a heads up and I'll definitely hype it up.
Yeah, we'll do it. I'll try and reach out. I could bring back the same people. I'm sure they'd all be down to do it again. But if
Round
not,
two,
I mean,
baby.
yeah, we'll run it. Maybe we'll mix up teams. No, we kind of got to keep it the same. I feel like
Yeah,
you and Janky
me
were
me
together,
and
right?
Jakey gotta redeem that loss because we
You
were
guys
so
were
far
on top.
ahead.
You were killing the movie ones. I do
Yeah,
remember that.
I mean that's my
So
thing, man. Like,
you
I
I
was
think you had
mad
all
that
five.
I was mad that I got the Wolf of Wall Street question wrong because I had just talked to
Oh, the
somebody about
most
that.
curses
Yeah, I said
and
The
Martin
Departed.
Scorsese.
I said The Departed because
Oh,
I
that's
think
a
that
good
had
answer though.
I think that had the record before that or something, which is also
Okay.
another Martin Scorsese movie. So it's like yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, you were
But
basically there.
yeah,
Yeah, that was good. I'd have to create more because I think last time we did it, the 2 wasn't enough because that like breezed by. It was like 30 minutes. So I was like
yeah,
outsourcing these random quizzes, but I'll be more prepared next time. It's
cool,
good
man.
to
Yeah,
try it out and stuff, you know?
yeah, that's all it is, man. It's just trying things out and
Yeah, gonna
improving.
fail, but hey, that's the name of the game.
I don't think it was fail at all, man. I think that
Well,
was
yeah,
a good
that
time.
one ended up being good, but yeah, sometimes I definitely have some flops,
Hey, but I
as they
mean
say.
that like I said, I mean I made that one TikTok back in the day and like there's like Lucci hates me because of that. I don't know if you know who Lucci is. He's like a
No,
big COD streamer. Like literally somebody came into somebody told me they went into Lucci's stream and said like you should play with Danny Dorito and he called him weird and banned him.
wow, really? Still that
Yeah.
hostile? I feel like
Because
time heals
the
in a way, right?
person I don't want to say names anymore, but the person that I made the TikTok about that it was their birthday was on a team with him at one point, and so he was like super defensive about it. I guess there was a couple people who were like super defensive. I had one guy tell me I suck and stuff like that, and wanted to 1v1 me, and I was like, I don't know you. I've got nothing to benefit from this, so leave me alone. You know, and he
Yeah.
was in the Navy too, so I was like, bro, you literally
Oh
have
my god.
TikToks of you in uniform, man. I expect a little more like be a little smarter. I don't think that's smart. And he's like, well, I'm not gonna change for the military or for TikTok. Like I am who I am and this and that. And I'm like, I'm just saying, man, I'm not in the military anymore. So if I say something, my command's not coming after me.
Mhm.
You know? But I was like, that's not smart, bro. And he didn't like that either, so he just got even more mad. But
Wow. It's good to yeah,
have
you got some beef on your history, man.
bro,
I
it's
didn't
because
realize
like
this.
I mean, like I said, The Rock, that guy's not afraid to call somebody a candy ass every once in a while, man. You can't
Hell
let people
yeah.
walk all
Hell
over
yeah.
you, you know? I almost,
Mhm.
when that happened, I almost wanted to double down and say, I apologize to fucking no one, like McGregor, you know? But
McGregor, yeah, yeah.
yeah. But I was like, nah, I made a mistake, you know? Because I made a second TikTok saying, look, I didn't know it was their birthday. I don't apologize for the TikTok. I apologize for posting it on her birthday. That's not a cool present, you know? And people are like,
Right.
why even make that? You know, like, why even make that TikTok? So I was like, all right, I made a mistake. I'm not trying to like justify my way out of it. Just, you know, I'm sorry. I took it down.
Right.
So
Nah, that's respectable. Hold the position, just bad timing.
yeah. And I mean, like I learned from it. I tell people, I'm like, I don't regret it because I learned a lot from it. You know, you can't
Yeah.
be regretting stuff just because it was a flop or, you know, it's like you said, it's all a learning experience. There's going to be fails here and there. But I mean, if you fail, it means you're trying.
Yeah. It's just data gathering too, you know, for the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right, man. 2 hours and 18 minutes. I don't know if you, my wife should be back
Yeah, I
soon.
think
So,
that's perfect. Yeah.
but yeah, I
That's
would love to have you on again, man. If you
no,
ever
this
want to
was
be on again.
awesome. Man, this is I think the format's awesome. How you just kind of
Super.
like
Yeah.
other stuff's like interviews basically. This was
I,
very
I don't like the
chill
topic
and
thing. I don't like constraining it to like I gotta cover certain questions or something. This doesn't feel right. I used to write stuff down, but then like I felt like it was awkward. I mean, it definitely depends on the guest. I think I've definitely gotten better at like keeping the conversation going. There's definitely been times where like I had to kind of like, yeah, so what about this? You know, like to try and keep the conversation going. But
Mhm.
I think I've also gotten better about like picking people to be on that like I feel like I'm gonna jive with and have a lot to talk about. So
Right. Yeah. If you get a guest that is kind of like a little more socially awkward or difficult to have these flow conversations with, it could be a rough two
yeah,
hours.
like I've had people who super cool people, but like I don't know if they were nervous or what, but like I would be like, yeah, so like what do you think about this? Like, oh, that's cool. Like, yeah. And it's
And
like,
the thought just ends there.
yeah, like they don't really elaborate on stuff or don't have a whole lot. They don't like there's not a whole lot of back and forth, you know? Like it's just kind of I mean, it happens. And there's definitely people where I was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to have them on again, but it's nothing like you're not going to jive with everybody. Like like it's
Yeah,
nothing
and that's
about
okay.
like it's not like I don't like you or something. It's just I don't know, like if we don't flow together. That's just I mean, I've had people tell me the same thing. They're like, "Yeah, like, you know, I just don't really flow with you." I'm like, "All right,
Yeah, whatever.
it's
Nothing
going to happen."
personal.
No,
I
nothing
think a lot of
personal at all.
streamers would be good at maintaining the convo. Then maybe like if you get just TikTok specific people,
Yeah.
perhaps they wouldn't be as good.
The only problem is like I've tried reaching out to Twitch streamers who don't use TikTok and like there's this consensus in like the YouTuber / Twitch community that like TikTok is like cheating for some reason. They don't like TikTok. Everybody dogs on TikTokers. But
People are
it's
so
slowly going
protective of
away.
their domains,
It's
man.
slowly going
People are so
away.
protective. Yeah.
Yeah.
They love like invalidating things. It's like if you're
Yeah.
big on another platform, no, that's only because it's TikTok. Go.
Yeah.
It's people love invalidating things. It makes themselves feel
Yeah.
better, I think.
Like I reached out to a guy because I thought it was cool. He had done videos on like all the gamer energy drinks. Like he compared like all of them, and I was like, oh, that'd be cool to talk to him about that, you know. And I reached out to him, and he was just like, uh, I think I commented on his YouTube. I was like, hey, dude, I love the videos, man. Like, what's the best way to reach you? And he's like, oh, well, if you come into my Discord, I usually talk to people in there, like in the general
The-
chat. I'm just like,
the
well, it's not really
generic
what I
response.
meant. Yeah, I meant like, how can I actually like, you know? But like I said at the time, I think I had like 10,000 subscribers, and this guy had like 40,000. So to him, he's like, I'm a waste of time. But I mean, to me, it was like it was a huge red flag. It was like if that's how that guy thinks, then like,
Right.
yeah,
You probably don't want to be collabing with someone like that anyway. Yeah.
no, yeah.
And then
But,
yeah.
but you come off as a dude that you seem genuine, man. Like, enjoy the conversation, and like I said,
Thanks. Yo, me too, man. This was a lot of fun.
dig the content. Keep doing you, man.
Yeah. Well, I'll reach out for the Jeopardy stuff. We'll run that back for sure. I'll
Hell
let
yeah.
you know like dates and stuff. Just let me know when you're good. Thursday seems to work for everyone last time. If that's still good, let me know. And then
Mhm.
yeah, maybe like a couple weeks from now figure. But if you're down, let's run it back. It could be
Yeah.
I'll have it really put together too. I think it's gonna be like level 2 this time. So should be fun.
Maybe I'll even try to make a TikTok out of like us losing and be like, we got to redeem ourselves, you know? So see.
I don't know if you want to resurface those past events, man.
Okay.
Try and bury that, dude. No, I'm playing.
But all right, man. I'll see you.
yo.
I'll be in touch.
Sounds good.
Take
All
care,
right.
man.
See you, Danny. Bye.
Peace.